Oh, there we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to an episode of Drunkards and Dragons. Real quick thing. So our last session was not live because our internet was down, but you can still find that episode on YouTube. It's still uploaded there, so you can see what happened. And that link is right down below, of course, as well as our Twitter and Facebook, so I can announce things like that. But don't worry, I have a recap of what happened last time. So, when last you guys were with us, they had just defeated Golem, the Giant King. And as they returned to the airship via a secret passage behind Golem's throne, they found out that the ship was too damaged to fly, and that much of the magical energy that allowed the ship to levitate in the first place had been depleted in the assault. As Wilhelm rested and tried to figure out what to do next and a way to possibly recharge the magical crystal, Maria and Varys, as well as Alexia, decided to go on their own mission and try and find a way to get the ship up and running, involving stealing keys to the mana crystal room, as well as generally just exploring the ship and seeing how it operates. Varys and Maria, with the help of invisibility, was able to steal the 2 keys needed to open the mana room. And as they got near and near to this crystal, they found that it took magical energy from things around it to be powered. And normally there were precautions put around it to make sure it didn't just willy-nilly take magic from things. But with the energy level low, it was just drawing whatever magic it could from everything around it. As they opened the door, it began to draw a large magical force from Maria, more than anyone should have, and it just kept drawing and drawing and drawing. With that, the ship roared to life, and many of the arcane lights and electrical issues just exploded forth, sparks flying, but the ship was up and running at full power. Pulling Maria away from the crystal, they saw that the magical energy was still pouring out from her, and in its semi-unconscious state, she not only powered the ship, but flew it straight into the storm that they had seen previously on their way to the mountain. As they braved the hurricane and twister and the lightning storm of that hurricane, as they hit the center of it, they found the calm of the storm and saw another gateway crystal, much like the one they had found in Bandon. Wasting no time, they jumped through it, and after several obstacles, fought their way up to the tower that housed Andragnir, the Azure Flesh. The battle was fierce, and there were many casualties. Nothing permanent, though. And at the end, Lawless came to deliver the final blow. After some quick words with the party, he has turned his back and is now flying away. But as you guys stand atop this huge obsidian tower, you hear the lightning crashing in the distance still, the wind howling. As you pull Varys to his knees and try and help him catch his breath as Lawless flies away, you feel the ground shake beneath you, and you hear the sound of like metal scraping on rock. And Andragnir stands to his feet, shakily and wounded, and looks up at Lawless and just howls. And he goes, "I know that weapon, forged of my own fang. You're a traitor to your house, and a traitor to me." And as you guys look back at him, Lawless actually stops and looks around too, and you can see, like, even up in the air, there comes a confused look on his face as Andragnir lets out one last huge lightning blast straight at him, and you see it kind of envelop the area where Lawless was, and as it spreads across the sky, it creates a strange static electricity field around him. And with that, Andragnir falls to his feet, or falls to his face. Falls to his feet. Now, falls down, finally exerting the last bit of his energy. As you guys look up, you see the lightning storm is colliding and crashing, creating miniature explosions as this happens. And then you see a small, radiant light kind of spread forth from this area, and the lightning just explodes on both sides. And you see where Lawless was, this humanoid figure with, it looks to be armor, but it also looks too tight to be armor, almost like this is a different being entirely. Black and blue markings around him, no longer humanoid, but demonic in nature. And he hovers there for a moment and looks down at you all.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do tell, where in the nine hells did you come from? What have you done with my friend Lawless?
Now you see what price I've paid and what the price was for.
Price you've paid and what the price is for. Don't tell me, Lawless, is that you? What kind of fool trades away their soul for power like this?
Someone who knows what has to be done. Now you see, you have no hope of defeating me.
Done for what? What's your ultimate goal here?
There are things more ancient than these dragons, more than you know. I suggest you leave while you still have a life to live. I'll handle this. And you kind of, in like this cloud of ash, it kind of like fades away and it's his humanoid form again. And he continues leaving.
Best to just let him go on his way for now. I'm afraid I'm exhausted all of my magical energies. I need to rest.
He refuses to answer any of our questions anyway.
Yes.
I guess we'll just have to continue on our journey and try to figure out what he's up to. I have a feeling we'll see him again shortly.
As do I.
With that, what would you guys like to do?
Take a rest.
On top of the tower, or?
On top of Androgymir's corpse. Just snuggle up with him.
Okay.
No, just kidding. How long would it take to get back to the ship at this point?
Oh.
And, like our weakened conditions and... Is the storm still going on?
Around you, yes. In this area, this pocket dimension you guys have found your way into, it is a constant storm. It has not let up since you got here.
We might as well get back to the ship because Maria should be hovering just outside waiting for us. I say we leave this pocket dimension and then take a rest.
I agree. And in the meantime,
I look for a way out.
Okay.
I want to try and harvest stuff from him.
Here. Go ahead and make a nature check.
Nature?
Yes.
I would like to...
And I will give you advantage because you have the Dragon's Bane blade, and that makes carving through him much easier. So I'll give you advantage on it.
I would like to summon Tony while he's doing this.
22.
22. Well, the DC was high already. And so you pass the DC, but not enough to get a full harvest on the creature, as per the rules of gathering. But you do manage to get several more large scales off of him. 15 large azure scales. And you recall the white ones you got off of the first dragon, and they're about this size. Just each of these, this size, when you pull one off.
Okay.
So you're able to pull several of those away, and with the help of the Dragon's Blade blade, any part of it that's kind of stuck there and like won't remove from its flesh underneath, you kind of cut that part away. You're able to get 15 scales. You're able to grab just the basic incisors of this huge monstrous creature, its fangs. You manage to pull those out. The other two appear to be either too damaged in the fight, or they're on there so tight, and even hitting with the sword repeatedly, they just won't come out.
Okay. Anything else?
How many vials do you have?
Like empty vials?
Yes.
I don't know if I have any. Okay. Varys probably has some.
I'm sorry, what?
Empty vials.
Empty vials? I have a couple vials, but they're not empty. Let me see what I can do with that.
You're able to acquire 14 vials worth of dragon's blood if you can carry it at all.
We can hold any.
Yeah.
Put in some water skins. Just remember not to drink it.
Or I could just drink it anyway.
See what happens.
Anyways, anyone who cares
I have a water
to,
skin full of dragon's blood now, I guess.
Anyone who
Do you have
cares
an empty
to pet
water
Tony
skin to
the
spare?
entire time gets 65 health back.
Well, how long have we been gone?
You guys haven't had to provide food or water for yourself in some time. The last time you had to do that was on the ship.
I don't have an empty water skin then. If I haven't been like drinking my own water.
You guys have also been using the decanter whenever you need water, so
Yeah.
you could theoretically you could have empty water skins because you haven't really been using them. So
I could
just dump
empty
them
one
out.
out.
you can also do that. Yeah. 14 vials of potion or dragon's blood would equal to about.
What would I do with dragon's blood? Is that useful?
That's up to you.
But I mean, like, I don't know what
You're the one who wanted to
do with
harvest it. You'd have to find someone who
But
knows.
should I take it?
It's up
That's
to
what
you.
I'm asking.
But 14 vials of dragon blood would equate to 1.5 water skins worth of blood.
I'll empty a water skin then.
Okay, and just take a gallon of dragon's blood is what you have then.
Okay.
I heal you for 65.
Ancient dragon's blood. Preface that.
You also get healed for 65.
And then finally, you're able to get one of his horns. One of the many horns that kind of adorn his head that's spread apart. You're able to grab the largest one and kind of hack that one away.
You know, Ethelyn, I believe that he is dead.
Yes.
Just making sure.
So as we discussed previous in one of our maintenance sessions, at this point it's fairly easy for you guys to transport the hoard of gold and items that Andragnir had with him between the tower and the ship. The whole experience takes around 2 to 3 hours as you guys head back to the ship and get some people to come back through the portal with you to grab some of it and fill it with barrels and things like that and just transport this vast amount of wealth that you've now accumulated back onto the ship. And as you guys haul the last barrel over with the help of a make-way path that has been created from the crystal to it, you hauled it over to the ship, and Maria at this point, like, visibly sweating and like the hair kind of matted to her face, she looks to you all and she goes, "Are you done?"
Yes,
Yes,
I
sir.
believe we are.
I think that we are.
Her eyes flare up with that blue light again, and the symbol hovering above her forehead kind of glows and intensifies and almost catches on fire with a pale purple light. And as she does this, she kind of closes her hands together, and the crystal that had several cracks along it begins to solidify, and then it begins to implode within itself and just vanishes. And simultaneously as this happens, the storm around you guys fades away and vanishes. And the sun, for the first time, is up in the sky, and you see it as it kind of shines across the land. The rain gone, the thunder gone, just everything peaceful and tranquil.
That's a cool ability. I believe that the stone was causing the weather distortions. Perhaps if we take Maria back to Vanden, she may be able to destroy the crystal we left behind there.
I was just thinking that myself, Ferris.
However, I believe that can wait till tomorrow. Seems like everybody is quite exhausted. For now, we should head back to what's it called? Arya, and celebrate.
Wilhelm tells you the ship has plenty of power, so by all means rest on the journey back. We should arrive there in half a day. Although with the storm, possibly less. It's just gone.
Yes. Yes, it is. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go and do something. And I whip out my lute, or not my lute, my harp, and I start playing my harp. So I try to perfect it.
Okay. Over the course of attuning to it, something that you learned is that it doesn't play like a normal harp. As you pluck the strings and play it differently, you can make general sounds with it, and you can do general basic melodies with it. But attuning to it, you kind of gather this knowledge of like there's more power inside this thing. There's more I can kind of harvest. Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
17.
17. You allow your mind to go blank momentarily, and you decide instead of playing the harp to kind of just let it play you almost. As you kind of close your eyes, and then you find your fingers kind of move on their own and start playing this gorgeous song. A song you don't know. A song you've never practiced. A song you've never even heard before. But as you play this song, this tranquility just kind of washes over you. And you learn that each subsequent spell that this harp possesses requires a different song to play.
Interesting. That's all I do.
Okay.
I just find a nice quiet place to sleep.
You guys have cabins.
I go back to my cabin.
Okay. Trying to do anything in play?
Oh, no, I'm not going to drink the dragon's blood. Thought about it.
Don't want to become a reaver?
I don't know what that is.
I'm not gonna drink it yet.
You didn't play Dragon Age?
I think I played one of them.
No, well in that game, drinking dragon's blood makes you like something called a reaver. But I wouldn't suggest going on that principle.
Oh. No, I'm just gonna hang out for now.
Okay. Do you want to rest at all, or?
I probably should. I don't even remember what my HP is. I'm probably hurt. So, yes.
Okay. When you guys arrived back in Arya, it did not take half a day at all. The storm being gone, it was smooth sailing, and what generally took half a day before to arrive at the mountain, you arrived back in Arya in a few hours. And as you guys land in the area behind the castle where the ship first took off, you can actually see all the citizens that were inside the shelter and inside their homes. Like they're out in the streets now, kind of running around and splashing in the water and just enjoying the fact the sun's finally out and the storm is gone. And as you guys make your way through the halls and to His Majesty, he comes and he greets Wilhelm and he kind of slaps on the back and he's like, "Do you see this? The storm's gone. Are you responsible for this?" And he looks to you guys.
Something like that. And I kind of like look at Maria. She's there.
She is, but she's kind of spaced out.
Yeah.
The glow has faded from her eyes and that mark no longer appears over her head. She looks just extremely tired and just kind of zoned out for the most part.
It would appear the strange weather phenomenon was brought on not by a dragon, but by a powerful crystal of some kind that once it was destroyed, the weather effects seemed to stop.
Truly.
Indeed. I think the weather here should be returning to normal quite soon.
So, was the giant responsible for this?
Hard to say.
Well, one victory is enough for today. Come, I will have a banquet prepared immediately. You must be hungry.
Very, very much
A
so.
celebration is in order, I think.
They eagerly follow.
Well, you guys are given pristine rooms in the castle, and while everything's prepared, as nightfall begins to slowly approach, any resting or preparation you guys like to do in the meantime is your own time. But inside your rooms, even as you're trying to do whatever it is you're trying to do, you hear people just running up and down the halls trying to get things ready, and lots of people just trying to make sure everything is prepared right away. So whatever you guys like to do in the privacy of your own rooms is up to you.
Can I wander?
Huh?
Can I wander and ask somebody something?
Sure. What would you like to wander to?
I wanted to go and find Wilhelm and ask him some questions regarding a subject I'm interested in researching.
Okay. First you go to the hangar and where all the engineers are, and they all tell you, like, he hasn't left his office since you returned, and they kind of point you in the direction. There's kind of up on the third floor of this huge kind of like warehouse looking building. Up on the third floor you see this room just kind of solitary off to itself. And they go, oh, he's up there on the third floor.
Thank you.
So you climb various ladders to get up there, and there's no actual formal steps, it's just ladders.
Ah, Wilhelm.
Well, the door is locked when you get there.
Right. I hate to say that after I open the door.
Yeah.
I knock on the door.
There's no response.
Wilhelm, are you in there? It's Varys. You know, one of the heroes that saved Arya.
Yeah. You hear the sound of like large amounts of books and papers falling over behind the door, and kind of a hurriedness of steps, and then the door kind of opens and goes, oh, yes, Varys. I was in the middle of research.
Ah. What are you researching?
Well, our most recent adventure, it must be categorized and put down, and notes must be taken.
I see. It's good work you're doing there then. I came to see you because I was wondering if you might be able to help me with something, as you are by far the best person I've ever met to ask about creating or knowing about magical things. Are you any good at making potions, or know anybody that could make potions for me?
Well, I've dabbled in a bit of alchemy. Enchanting is more my specialty.
Enchanting. Oh, I think dabbling might be enough for what I need. You see, and I reach in my bag and pull out a vial of the giant's blood. This is the blood of the giant king that we slayed. And I was wondering if perhaps you might be able to use this in a potion to perhaps, I don't know, give somebody the strength of a giant.
Yes. Well, yes, it is one of the basic ingredients to such a potion, but I'd also need valuable gems and a catalyst to make them all kind of meld together.
I'm not so keen on going and fetching those things. Do you have a estimate of how much gold that would take? Perhaps I could provide you with the gold to cover the material costs, and of course you'd be well compensated for your service.
I will give you an estimate at dinner.
Dinner. Alright.
The process will take several months, as brewing a potion of that magnitude is not easy.
Several months, you say? Well, alrighty then. I do have 3 vials, so if you could make as many as you could, and perhaps we could work out an agreement where I could only have you make 2 for me, and you could keep a vial for yourself. Perhaps it could aid in your research.
Well, this would larger dose would be easier to brew all at once.
Let's see.
But still, the process would take several months. Even the brewing of a basic potion takes at least a few weeks to make. It's a very slow process. Imagine putting all your meat and potatoes in a pot and then just letting it cook for hours at a time and waiting to enjoy that food. It's much like what a potion is.
That sounds delicious.
Yes, it does.
Anywho, that's all I wanted to come talk to you about.
Yes, I will pull some books off the shelf and see what I can do.
Sounds good. I'll see you at dinner then. And I will...
Do you leave the vials with him, or...?
Yes.
Okay. So 3, you said?
Yep.
Okay.
3 1-ounce vials of storm giant blood.
Okay. 1 ounce?
Yeah, 3 1-ounce
Okay.
things, so there's 3 ounces.
Okay. We'll see how much that will make then.
And I will go back to my room and await to be summoned to dinner.
Okay. Alexia?
Is there a window in my room?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I take my armor off and I try to sleep. Assuming preparations will probably take a little bit of time.
Yeah.
But Varys's comment about the dragon and the crystal make me ponder. So now I'm just sitting in front of the window pondering if it's killing the dragon that allows us to stop the storm in combination with closing the portal to that dragon, or if we only have to close the portal.
Okay.
Because, that just creates a dilemma. Have we been killing ancient dragons for no reason?
So you take off your armor and you, exhausted, kind of fall into the bed and you close your eyes, and right when sleep is about to take you, your mind starts racing 100 miles an hour about all these things you just said, just pondering if you've been putting too much effort into this and maybe there's a simpler solution, something that takes less time, or if it's a conjunction of the efforts you've been making that is allowing this to happen in the most efficient way. And a few hours pass and you find yourself sitting on the windowsill just kind of looking out at the city. You see the sun dipping below the horizon, and the red glare of it almost makes Arya look like it's on fire, as there's tons of puddles all across the city and on the rooftops, and there's still this glistening moisture to all the buildings in Arya, and as the sun hits that, it kind of reflects it, and there's this kind of this like beautiful just horizon glare across the city as the sun starts to go down. And as you think about these things, your thoughts are disturbed as you knock at the door. And, Miss, dinner is ready if you would take your places.
I'll be right there.
Ithlin, is there anything you'd like to do?
No.
Okay. What is Ithlin currently doing in his room?
Doing what I always do, just kind of looking through various tomes and books and things.
Okay. As you're sitting there, you hear a tap hitting the glass of your window.
Of my window?
Yeah. You hear something tap against the window, just ever so slightly, just a slight tap.
I go
tink.
I go look at it.
There's a raven just sitting outside your window, tapping on the window. Tap, tap, tap.
I open the window.
Okay, the bird flies in. And it kind of flies around the room momentarily, and then it lands on your bed.
Mm.
And then before you, it kind of shifts and changes into that of an elf you've seen before.
What does the elf look like?
She's wearing various animal furs. and has different blue paints across her body. Her hair is kind of in dreads, and she has various feathers kind of throughout them. And she just kind of sits there and like leans back, and she goes, "Have you thought any more on my offer?"
Oh, it's that bitch. Oh, hello. What was your name again?
I think it was Valina.
I legitimately didn't remember her name.
I know because I was looking at my sheet and I was like, who's that? Oh.
I have a list of names. I'm like, which one was that again?
Which one was that? No, I don't believe I have.
Wow. You and your friends have succeeded, I see.
Yes.
What's next for you, I wonder?
For myself, I'm not so sure. It's something I ask myself every day.
I'm not here for philosophical discussion. And that artifact you carry, do you know what it is?
Oh, yes, I do. That is precisely why I don't want to get rid of it. Because you see, if all else fails, I can always watch the world burn.
Look around you, the world's already burning.
Yes. There is still hope. Only a fool's hope.
And what of your hope?
I do not know. I've given many lifetimes to this pursuit. There are many days where I think it is fruitless, and I've done nothing but toil away for nothing. But what else can I do?
Such is the burden of immortality.
Indeed.
You intrigue me, Evelyn.
How so?
Because you're so incredibly smart, and yet stupid at the same time.
Well then. Is that all?
I'd ask you one more time, will you part with the relic willingly?
No.
And so be it.
Roll initiative.
I'll just take it off of your corpse.
Oh.
In due time, though.
Them fighting words.
You'll find yourself at the end of your own folly. I will speed the process along, though. And she begins walking over towards the window and kind of like puts one leg up. And she looks back at you and she goes, "I'm sure we'll meet again." And as she turns back into a raven, along your wall, flames just across it.
She lit my room on fire?
On part of the wall, yes.
Is it gonna burn down?
I don't know. What do you want to do? She's not sticking around to find out. She flew away.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. I don't know what I can do if everything's on fire.
It's just one part of the wall. If you have 4 rooms to your wall or to your room, like one of them is now just across it. There's fire on it.
Meanwhile, in the room above, Varys is trying to practice his escape tactics and is tied to a chair.
What?
What?
The place where he's going
Varys is gonna die because I only have fire magic.
Where are our rooms
Just fight fire
in
with
conjunction
fire.
to each other?
They're actually all spread apart.
Oh.
If Edlund's room was at the beginning of the hall, yours is in the middle, and then Varys is at the far end. So there's several rooms in between yours.
So Beer's just said he's upstairs.
Varys is upstairs apparently. He's not in his room. That's
In
why
some
he's tied to a
miscellaneous
chair.
area.
He broke into someone else's room and was tied to a chair as a result.
He's just telling servants to keep walking fast. Don't help me. Keep going.
Yeah.
Keep walking.
The key to my release is beneath this pillow.
The Great Buffini.
I guess I'd like grab a servant or something. It's like,
You just grab.
You don't like grab a blanket and just start patting it out or something? Like,
well, I mean, like, could I do that? Like, how on fire is it?
it's
like,
up to
should
you.
I be
Like, what do you want
concerned?
to do? It's
Pretty
all,
sure it's like that wall
make
on
an
fire.
make a car, not fully top to bottom.
Okay.
If it's that wall, for example,
Like a little
like
ball of fire.
one part of it just kind of across it is it's just like a line of fire.
Oh, okay. It's not like.
Yeah, and it's like oddly controlled too. Like
Okay.
it looks like it's not spreading.
Oh, okay. I'll like try and put it out then, like grab the bed sheet off and kind of like thwack it.
Start
Okay.
spinning.
Yeah.
It takes you a bit of doing that, but it does go out, and you kind of pull back the blanket, now scorched and blackened with it being slightly on fire as well. It smells like smoke, and you kind of like drop it, and you see across the wall,
Ooh.
no longer on fire, that the word Vidolg has been burned, ashen into the wall.
How do you spell that?
Vidolg.
Oh, I did. Well, now I want a new bed sheet. I go find a new bed sheet because this is unacceptable.
As you open the door, smoke kind of bellows out of it, and some of the servants are like, "What is happening in there?
Fire?
You lit a fire?"
No.
And they kind of push past you and run in. They're like, "What have you done?"
This place is very combustible. It's very dangerous.
You see this wood? Flame print. See this wood? Flame print.
Well, the whole wall is ruined. There's ashes all along it.
Well, clearly this is not my fault. This entire place is made of wood. It was going to happen eventually.
Do you expect me to believe it just spontaneously combusted?
I don't expect you to believe anything. And then I walk off.
Wonderful. You kind of leave the servant. They're just dumbfounded, like.
I mean, I have to come back eventually. I left all my stuff in there.
At this point, it's safe to say you guys can reconvene for dinner if you'd like.
Sure, that sounds good.
Unlike the feast you've attended in Bandon before, this is not a feast that is a party by any means. There's not a large group of people here. There's no civilians or even other nobility here. The entire massive table has been laid out with a spread of food. But the only people here are yourselves, Wilhelm, and the team of engineers that flew the airship with you. As well as Maria, who is not sitting at the table, but has kind of found an alcove of different seats off in the corner that just has a small plate of food and is like picking at it, but she's not joining the people at all. And then the king, of course, who is at the head, and then by his side is Regulus Dane.
Who's Regulus name?
Who was Keith's character in the first session we ever did.
I knew that name sounded familiar.
Regulus Dane is a kind of 6'3" or 6'4" knight, but definitely chubby and old. You can see just as his visor is pulled up. He's got like bags underneath of his eyes and definitely hasn't shaved in a few days. That stubble's beginning to like create a really thick 5 o'clock shadow. Even in his armor, you can tell he's uncomfortable as it kind of pushes the breastplate out just slightly, a couple inches. He's kind of squeezed into his armor.
Why is he here?
He's always been there. He came from Arya.
I have a feeling he's a total buzzkill. Doesn't let people get away with, I don't know, maybe taking wine from somebody.
Taking what?
Wine.
Oh.
Or I think it was an apple. Might have been an apple.
I'd like to approach Maria and inquire about why she's not joining the rest of us.
She doesn't really look up at you. She just kind of like flicks the scrape on her plate a little bit. And she doesn't look up at you at all, and she just says, she doesn't say that. And she just says, we're celebrating while who else knows what's going on? I cannot explain it, but I feel like there's more than just Arya that's suffering.
And you'd be right. Bandon is suffering. Banyang is suffering. There's a fourth place, I'm sure that's suffering, as there are 4 dragons and probably 4 crystals causing climate mayhem all over the world.
And why are we sitting here? Why are we not doing something about it?
My approach after eavesdropping on the conversation a bit. I'd say, I lean down and I go, because, little one, we're having dinner.
Though it is important and part of our quest to help those we can and put the world back to its natural condition, to do so we must take care of ourselves as well. Especially with you exerting so much magical power, it's important for you to rest and sleep, as well as the rest of us.
But this is not simple rest, this is a party. Such things are useless.
This is a meal with comrades. Very different celebrations would be happening if we were actually, say, celebrating some sort of massive victory. Yes, we are acknowledging that we fixed the climate, the crazy, dangerous weather that was happening in this area. Right now, we're just having a meal.
Besides, it's always bad manners to turn down a invitation from a ruler to come and dine with them. Besides, you're getting a free meal.
I'm sure we'll be on our way to the next location by morning.
Well, it's always said that any ruler who had to prepare a feast was not worth one having dinner with.
Well, it said a lot of things. It's up to you to decide whether or not that's true or not. And then stop playing with your grapes and eat your grapes. I walk off to go and join the main table.
She, before you get a chance to do that, she actually flips her plate onto the ground, kind of glares at you, and then walks off.
She don't want her grapes.
And as you guys kind of return to the table, the king looks at you and goes, "Was it not to her liking? There's other food."
You know how girls can be when they're maturing. Just best to leave her be.
Yes, Varys. How can girls be when we're maturing?
Much like that.
She's a young girl with lots on her mind. I believe there's some sort of internal anguish she's experiencing right now. She just needs to understand the process, for lack of better words, of what we're doing.
Yes, perhaps best discussed after fitting.
Yes.
Do you want one?
I say for now we just eat our meal and retire. We still have a long journey ahead of us.
That we do.
I'm just sitting there, thinking back longingly, wishing I had more of that cactus from that one time.
No.
Nice.
However, since we have everyone here, perhaps we should speak about our journey to wherever our next destination is. There's currently an airship we know that our young companion can power herself.
That's true, but perhaps it'd be best to have permission from the one that owns it before we discuss what we might be able to do with it.
That's why I'm bringing it up with everyone here.
Oh,
Do you say it just kind of like in a hush between you three, or do you say it like propose it out across the table?
I say my thing out loud.
Okay.
Yeah, more so like proposing to the table, like we have a long journey ahead of us, and you have an airship.
Well, some maintenance does need to be done on it. It is sufficiently powered, yes, but the massive surge of power it gained also damaged some of its more mechanically inclined parts. We will need a few days to repair it, but and forgive me, Your Majesty, if I speak out of turn, but
It's not yours.
I want to devote myself to their cause. I have seen more magic and mystery in the last few days than I've ever seen in my entire life. And if these brave heroes are trying to save the world, then I want to stand with them. And he kneels forward and he goes, "Yes, I was thinking the same thing. Not only has Alexia helped Regulus here, but now she's helping the world. I knew the first time I saw you that you had a greater destiny in store."
You may be the first.
Arya stands with you. All of you.
Fantastic. Cheers. I raise a glass. To saving the world.
And Regulus kind of stutters. He's like, "Saving the world." He's like,
Now, I'm no engineer or scientist, but if the surge of power the ship received from Maria damaged some of the mechanical parts, I would assume that the repairs would include building or repairing the mechanical parts to be able to handle more power than was initially expected for them to.
well, it was never built to receive a large amount of power at once. It takes months to charge one of those crystals. It received that much power and more in a mere seconds, it would seem.
Is there any way to adapt the ship to be able to take on that much power in one go?
It may take a few months, but I could draw up some plans.
Never mind.
But it is sufficiently charged now, as long as we don't receive any more onslaughts such as what Golem did. It should be sufficiently powered for the next year.
But we can't guarantee no further onslaughts. However, if we have your crew and the ability to repair as needed during our long journey, then I see no reason why this wouldn't work out.
And, Wilhelm closes his eyes for a moment, and then he looks to each and one member of his crew, built up of dwarves, humans, gnomes, halflings, just
Gnomes.
a sporadic amount of races, all drawn together by the same scientific goal and desire, the same like-minded desire to create. And he looks at them, and one by one they all kind of like stand up and like put their hands to their chest and nod at him. And he smiles and he looks at you all and he goes, "You can count on us."
Well, Maria will not be happy about staying a few extra days. However, having the airship at our disposal will make our travel plans much quicker.
Indeed it will. The only matter I really wish to discuss is, where is that last stone located? We already know the one in Vanda, and we know for sure there's one in Banyang, but...
Though we have not found the crystal itself.
Right,
We
but we at
know-
least know the location.
The general area. Perhaps this is a conversation suited for privacy.
Privacy, I mean, we have a king whose knowledge is quite vast to be able to
Well, yeah, I guess we have Wilhelm, who's
allow us to know
the
about,
book nerd.
you know, any reports of strange weather, much like the weather here in Aria was strange. Do you know of any other areas that have reports of strange weather aside from Banyang and Vanden?
Who are you asking?
King.
Oh. I have been caught up the last few weeks with our own strange weather phenomenon. I have not received any word from our allied nations, though.
I see. I suppose we'll just have to explore and search from the air.
Tell me, do you have any clues or hints of any of this?
We managed to
Yes.
find most of our locations, or to where most of these weather effects are happening, based on some old cryptic book that we had found.
The location we have not deciphered yet. Because I believe we've agreed to go after the red dragon in Banyang last. As he's the most powerful.
Potentially, yes.
Okay. So we've handled the frozen flame, which was the white dragon in Father. We've now handled the Azure Slash, which was the blue dragon in Dragnir and Aria. The next one would be Zanveritas, the Voidbringer, the black dragon. The information we have is that he's located at the edge of the abyss. The riddle that we were given said, "A place devoid of hope or light, to the blackest depths you must dive."
Read that again for me. Wilhelm kind of puts his ear towards you and goes, "Again, please."
"A place devoid of hope or light, to the blackest depths you must dive."
No, before that, what did you say he was located at?
The edge of the abyss. Our thoughts were the Underdark or somewhere in the ocean is where we would need to dive further.
I do not want to be the cause of your death, but
Well, you would be there along with us, Wilhelm.
this is true. There is a spot sailors fear to sail into. A spot all ships, no matter the vessel, avoid. It is actually named such, Abyssal's Edge.
Abyssal's Edge. And do tell, why do the sailors fear going to this area?
So if you sail into this area, you are lost forever, pulled down to the depths.
Pulled down by what?
Darkness itself.
The darkness itself.
If the idea was for these gateways to never be found, it's as good a place as any.
And where is Abyssal's Edge located?
Directly north past Fallguard. Once the weather stops being cold and bitter, you'll know you're in the right area.
Sounds like I have to go home again.
Well, past Fallguard. And, I'm told that the journey itself takes several weeks, but there's other bad news.
Go on.
This area is a maelstrom stretching up into the sky. I do not think our airship would be able to navigate it. You'd have to take the journey by boat. We could get you there, but it would not be safe to fly the ship into it.
We have a boat we could use.
How close could you get us?
A few hundred leagues.
So our plan is to go north of Fallguard, but from Arya, is it possible to stop in Vanden and then go to Fallguard, or is it closer to go to Fallguard?
Are you asking me or someone else?
Must be you.
It should be, if we're in Aria, that's the west.
Hmm.
And Vanden's kind of in the middle of...
It's to the east.
Maybe not middle, but it'd be to the east
Fallguard
of
is
Aria,
north.
not as far
Fallguard
as...
is north of Vanden.
Yeah, so we could hit Vanden and then go up. Take care of that portal, and then go up to Fallguard.
You should do that.
It would also give us some locations to resupply if needed. Just to make sure that no one runs out of food or water.
I like this plan.
Which you can check on the keep. Deposit all of our treasures.
Unfreeze everyone.
Yeah.
That
That
would be
too.
good.
Hopefully.
Yes. I have a fear that with the Abyssal's Edge, if you go into the darkness, you're already in the portal. I wonder how many corpses we would find on the other side. Of the lost sailors.
Way to be a downer.
This sounds like the kind of place where we're headed. Alright, well. Since the ship needs to be repaired, Wilhelm, you will keep us updated on when the repairs are finished. and
Oh yes,
the
we'll
beginning-
start right first thing in the morning.
Alright. Is there anything else you need from us to assist with the repairs?
No, just reassurance from a man at the end of his life already. That you know what you're doing. I'm old. It's time for me to die anyways, but my crew, my team, promise we'll get out of this alive.
They want us to promise? Ooh.
At least then.
Yes, I'm sure if you do exactly what we say, that you will live through it.
We will not intentionally put you in harm's reach. We'll keep you a safe distance from the battles.
I suppose that's good enough.
I mean, after that, it's on you guys. Alright, well, I feel like we have some laid out plans. I'm gonna go try finding Maria.
I also finish my food and excuse myself from the table and head back to my room.
Okay. Good one.
Oh, don't mind me.
Okay.
I just had an interesting thought.
Okay. Do you want to try the rest of the class?
No.
Okay.
Jerk.
Alright. So morning eat comes. You guys have...
Did I find Maria?
Oh, sorry, that's right. You said that.
Just walking around all night.
Where do you look for her?
I assume she probably has her own room.
Mm-hmm.
But I would hopefully know where she's staying. Do we
Yeah.
all know where each other's rooms are?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, I check her room first.
The room she was assigned, she is not there. But you also recall she does live here in the House of Androgynous estate.
Do I know where that is?
Yeah.
I go there.
You guys met Lawless' sister.
I track her with my nose to the floor.
Okay.
Being a weirdo.
The servants are just like,
Okay.
I'm
Well,
totally normal.
okay, totally normal. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't take long. It's in the largest part of the city, with all the other more older houses near the castle. So, a 30-minute walk and you're there.
Alright. What do I find when I get there?
Huge double doors. The estate itself, several stories tall, much like the first time you were here. As you approach, two of the soldiers wearing the House One Dragonair colors, blue, stop you and they go, "Who goes there this late?"
How late is it?
Well, it's evening. It's already getting closer to 9.
Yeah, right. Well. I'm Alexia. I'm looking for Maria. Has she been here?
Who are you looking for, Lady Maria? What are you to her? What purpose?
I'm one of her companions. We just went on a journey together. And we're about to venture on another.
She didn't say anything when she came back. And the other guy, kicks him in the shin. He's like, "You're not supposed to tell her that."
So she is here.
What's it to you?
I'd like to speak with her. She abruptly left dinner. I wanted to check in with her.
Perhaps the food at the castle wasn't to her liking. And the guy again, he's just like, "I mean, we make some really good food at the castle, though." How could it? He's like, "Would you shut up?"
Are you going to let me pass or not?
I don't know. How are you gonna? What do you want to do?
Karate chop. Knock them out.
Oh.
I just request that I can speak with Maria for a few minutes to update her on our plans, so she can choose whether she wants to join us or not.
Make a perception check.
Oh man. Persuasion has not gotten any better. Ooh, 20 non-natural.
Nice. 20 non-natural. Very good. Okay, so they look at each other and they look back at you and they kind of put their arms around each other and kneel into a huddle and you hear a lot.
Two-person huddle.
Yeah. And finally they come up and he goes, You may see her for 10 minutes, and then I will drag you out myself.
There won't be a need for that, gentlemen. Just walk by.
They take their key and they open the door for you, and they push it open and go, her room is the far one on the left. Up the stairs you go.
Alright, I follow their directions.
Okay. It is the house itself is decorated with many art pieces of dragons and soldiers and their weapons kind of put into glass cases. And Drognir is a house at war. And you follow their directions and you head up the stairs, this huge winding staircase on both sides. You head up to the left, and finally there's a room at the far end. What would you like to do?
I knock on the door.
You hear Maria's voice from the other side, like, I told you I'm not hungry.
Maria, it's Alexia. We need to speak.
I highly doubt that.
Will you at least let me in?
The door swings open, and you see her sitting on the bed when the door opens. And she's sitting kind of cross-legged with a potted plant in between her legs. And her eyes are currently glowing, and you see the potted plant kind of transition as she lights it on fire, and then she freezes it, and then you see this kind of cascading white light envelop it, and it regrows, and then it just withers and dies, and she's just doing this over and over again.
Nothing creepy about that. You're getting pretty good at controlling your different abilities.
And these are simple cantrips. Perhaps even you could handle such a thing.
Perhaps. Can I use Druidcraft to be like, this is what I can do?
You can, yeah, what do you want to do with it?
Create a flower in my hand?
Yeah, you kind of just twirl your fingers and this kind of green flash, small green flash appears and the flower just kind of appears in your hand.
I do it and then hold it up to her and say, this is the limit of my powers. You have many more.
She holds out...
Shut up, Ithlin.
You hear Ithlin off in the distance.
She, it's just kind of like a rose inside of a potted plant. We'll say for simplicity, everyone can imagine what a rose looks like. And after she regrows it again, she kind of hands it to you, the pot itself. And as you go to reach out and take it, lots of other flowers just start sprouting from it. And it's a huge, like, bouquet at this point.
Interesting. Did she do that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I was gonna be like, oh, look at my Druidcraft.
Look what I did!
No, okay. It's very impressive. You abruptly left dinner tonight.
Yes, well, wanted to be well rested for tomorrow in case we're going to throw another party.
I don't see another party in our future. However, we did speak about our upcoming plans, and if you're willing to come along to continue what you've started and have joined us on, Wilhelm has agreed to join us along with his crew, and so we can use the airship and have that at our disposal as transportation. Due to the damage it took while, this past battle we were in with Golm, they do need a few days to repair the ship, and after that we would be heading to Vanden to hopefully, if you decide to join us, quickly close the crystal portal that is currently in Vanden and causing the city to remain as a frozen wasteland. we'll hopefully be able to return the climate to normal and restore the citizens so they're not frozen popsicles. And from there, maybe spend a day to resupply if needed or rest, and then continue past Fallguard to our next destination.
So you can just like flip your hand over and the pot falls on the ground.
Catch it.
Make a dexterity check.
Yeah. Just straight dex?
Yep.
Oh. 20 non-net.
Nice. So you quickly kind of like catch it, and it's that weird thing in the air where like your hand kind of like touches the bottom momentarily, and so you grab it and you kind of like twist your arm up and catch it, and kind of just like adjust it after that. She kind of just glares at you and she says, "You make it sound so easy. Do you even understand the magnitude of what we're doing?" Wallace is right. You're all just a bunch of idiots running into danger.
Did he share his plan with you? Our knowledge of what's happening is limited. We're more than happy and open to hearing what information you have and can share with us.
I don't know what Wallace is doing at this time. I've not seen him for months now.
Did he say anything to you before he left about what he was going to be doing? Or why?
No. After Sawyer was put to rest, we came here. And then he left shortly after.
I have a limited amount of time in which I was permitted to speak with you. And I fear that time may be approaching.
You can hear down like the hallway, just grab her.
You said you would drag her out of there.
Shut up. You can hear that like down the hall.
So I will leave you with this. You can continue to reflect on what Lawless has told you in the past, or you can begin making your own decisions and building your own perspective on us, the world, who you want to be, and the role you want to play in saving the world from its current state. I've given you our travel plans. The choice is up to you. And I put the potted plant on, is there like a nearby table? I put it on the table. I make a little flower in it, a druid craft, and I walk with it.
Okay. A small flower in her massive thicket of roses.
Yep. And it's not a rose. I like to think of it as like a hibiscus or something.
As you walk past the guards, he's kind of just like...
The guard?
Yeah.
I turn around and go,
Put a flower on him too.
Boop!
look at you, you're so pretty.
Well, Alexia is gone. Are you guys doing anything in particular?
Nope.
Okay. Evelyn?
I'm sitting and drinking tea, but I'm using Mage Hand to
Drink the
drink tea, and then when it gets cold, I just use Prestidigitation to heat it back up.
Okay.
Took me a long time to drink your tea.
Yeah. I'm just sitting there flexing on everybody with my magic.
You guys will catch me kind of like every minute.
That's fine.
So,
He's got just like so much
I don't time it correctly, so it drops the tea and it shatters on the ground.
We're
Grabbing
makes
the
a
cup.
sip every like
Yeah,
20 seconds.
go ahead and
It
make an
takes
Arcana check. We'll
sip
see-
every
we'll see if that
20
happens. Make an
or
Arcana
20
check.
minutes.
Alright. No, that doesn't happen. Let's see. 21.
21? Yeah, you can time it correctly. So is there anything you guys would like to accomplish over the next few days? You have 2 days of just complete downtime, and then on the third day it'll be most of the morning to afternoon will be preparation, and then to mid-afternoon around equivalent of 2 p.m. is when you guys will be leaving. So while you guys are in Aria, is there anything you guys like to try and do, accomplish, or...
Are there any bookstores or like bazaars or anything like that?
Not bazaars. Aria is definitely more of a. It's more militarized,
Mm-hmm.
and actually, go ahead and make a history check because you like this. So we'll see if you know anything about it. You guys are welcome to as well if you'd like.
Just a history check on Arya.
Yeah.
26.
26?
Nowhere near as good, but 16.
16. Ithlin, you know that Arya's actually been at war for the past 10 or so years. And so the city itself, it may have once been kind of more of a free spirit. It's been militarized and blockades have been created. And so the city itself has a kind of uniform fit to it. But the citizens don't seem to mind.
Mm-hmm.
At the 26th, you know that before the treaty was made between Arya and other nations, that what created a lot of strife was the previous king was basically not taking no for an answer. If you wouldn't kneel, he would kill them. It is the new king who has created peace between all the nations by allowing them into the city and creating kind of a unified country, but at the cost of many people now have to listen to or see the people they were once at war with who may have killed someone they know in the city freely now. And so there is a tension in the air, but it is more of a militarized city still.
Okay.
And this is really evident as you walk down the streets and you see lots of armed guards still walking around and patrolling, and the slightest scuffle is met with kind of an exaggeration of force as someone gets into a fight and 3 or 4 guards show up to break it up. It's definitely exaggerated.
But regular businesses would still be open?
Yeah.
Okay.
Simple things like adventuring equipment. There is no library. Definitely not as vast as Felgard's was. But there's small, like, little books here and there inside shops in general. Things where you can buy camping equipment or armor and weapons or things of that nature.
Is there a library?
No.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just spend my time looking for some interesting books, I suppose.
Okay.
Just kind of walking in and out of whatever little shop I can find.
Go ahead and do an investigation check.
15.
15. You find normal things. Maintaining your tents, maintaining your swords, making sure your armor doesn't rust. As you kind of drift in between the shops, you just find simple books like that.
Nothing of any consequence. Unfortunate.
Yes.
Am I up now? Do I get to do stuff?
If you want to.
Alright, I just wanted to go to a shop and get like 2 vials of ink.
Nope. Very easy to do.
And then
Silver piece.
after that, I wanted to spend the day grinding up some gems with my trusty... Where is it? My trusty kit. I know I have it. Jeweler's tools. There we go.
There you go.
And see if I can get some gems crushed up so I can mix it with the ink, so I have some ink vials that I can use to do teleportation circle if I need it.
Okay. Go ahead and do a intelligence check, and you get advantage because you have a tool for it.
An intelligence check?
Yeah.
Got it. 11?
11. You're still relatively new to crushing out gems, and a lot of this kit is kind of like figuring out how to secure it inside the thing, and then get to a point where you can kind of slowly chisel away parts of it until it just turns into dust itself, or you find the weak spot in it, and then you can just crush it with a hammer. So, at the end of the day, you have these chipped away gems and small amounts of dust.
It's going to take quite a bit of time as I try and perfect this. So that's all I'm going to do with my free time is just crushing these gems up.
Okay, go ahead and make another one on the second day then.
This also an advantage?
Yes, also advantage, yeah.
Oh, that's a little better. 17.
17? The first day gave you a lot of practice, and you started to figure out that each gem has a weak point, and if you kind of situate it there and start drilling into that area, that's where it crushes the kind of foundation of the gem, and then you hit it with a hammer, it kind of breaks much easier. And so you're able to crush up 3 gems, whatever 3 you're trying to do.
Oh, I was just trying to crush up 1.
Oh, just 1? Okay, you easily do that then.
Yeah. I have a ruby that was worth like 500.
Yeah, at the end of the day, your second day, it took you all day to achieve this, but at the end of the day, you have a completely crushed up ruby.
So then I would like to take about 50 gold worth of dust and put it into the ink vials and then put the stopper in and just kind of like a bartender.
Okay. It creates this kind of a... It's still ink, so it's still like kind of a blackish purple color, but it starts to swirl around and there's like kind of this red glitter in it.
It's looking nicely. Looks a lot better than last time I did this. Last time I had used my blood. So I look at my wrist and I see the cut. Alright.
Are you guys doing anything on your second day off?
Is there a place I'd be able to buy healing potions?
There's no alchemy shop here.
Okay.
Not in the city anyways. With it being more militarized, they're more so for the troops than anything else. So.
That's fine. Then I don't go out in search of anything. I just spend like my evenings attuning more arrows to my quiver.
Okay.
But that's about it. Alexia's doing a lot of deliberating, pondering in her room.
Okay. And Ithlin, on your second day off?
Not unless there's like some sort of a magic shop that could enchant armor or something.
Definitely not here.
Yeah. I didn't think so.
Armor enchanting?
Mm-hmm.
Should ask Varys. Varys knows about that kind of stuff.
Could you give my mithril plate more constitution?
I don't know about that, but I know someone that might be able to help you.
At a certain point during the second day, while I assume you're just in your room crushing out the gem and doing this.
Yep.
A missive is sent to you, and one of the servants kind of bows and gives you this letter.
Thank you. And I hand him 5 gold.
His eyes light up. He's like, "Whoa!"
I'm a rich boy now.
I open the letter.
This is from Wilhelm, and it starts off by saying, "Sorry, I forgot to tell you the cost of that potion at dinner the other night. We were talking about some very heavy things, and I completely forgot. Below is a list of the ingredients and things that will be required in order to create a potion for you, as well as the gold cost of each of those things. And it is like this half-page list of ingredients. And down at the bottom, like a receipt, it's basically written as 30,000 gold.
I see.
And then below that it says best wishes, Wilhelm."
Of course it does.
I fold the note back and put it next to the thing that I'm crushing gems, and I like wipe massive amounts of sweat from my forehead, and then go back to furiously crushing gems because it's gonna take too long for how much that costs.
Mm-hmm. It's a legendary item, so.
I know.
No, we have a potion of stone giant strength.
Yeah, but storm giant strength.
I mean, I was able to get you a reduced cost on it with the dice.
It's not the cost that worries me, it's just that the time to make it is like absurd.
Yeah, alchemy is a pretty fine art, unfortunately. That's why healing potions cost so much money. I think like the top tier healing potion takes like a year to make.
After I'm done like
That's why it costs like 10,000 gold.
after I'm done furiously like breaking the gem, I'll take a break and like basically just flip the letter over and then like write my own notes on it and be like, well, thank you for your time, and I don't believe that I'll have enough time to make use of the result as we're going to be heading out quite soon, so unless you were able to speed up the process, I wouldn't be interested. Although you can probably keep that as a gift just for all that you've done so far. And then when that servant comes back around, or another one,
Yeah.
I'll give back to that.
Okay. So it comes to the third day, and this is your day of kind of preparation. So is there anything you guys like to do to prepare for? It's going to be a couple days on the airship, much faster than by boat for sure. It's still going to be a few days by airship to get there.
Would we need to buy food?
Food will be on the ship, but when you guys aren't on the ship, you need your own food.
What would we need to... Could we just take it from the ship, or do we need to provide for ourselves once we've departed?
I mean, it depends what you take from the ship. The ship has a lot of perishables. There's no dry rations, so you could take food from the ship, but it'd go bad in a day or two.
Oh, I see.
So
Is this a military town, correct?
It's more militant, yes.
I look for a store that sells military rations.
Yeah, we should be able to buy dry rations somewhere.
Yeah, you can buy dry rations easily.
I would like
worth.
2 weeks worth of food. 1 week of food is like those saltines, basically, like the huge saltines that they give in the military packs. And then the other week of food is salted beef jerky.
Okay.
Hope you're planning on buying a bunch of water as well.
What? There's water in the ocean.
Yeah, you don't drink that much.
Why not? I do it all the time.
Varys, fish go poo in the ocean.
Fish go poo.
Yeah, but we also eat fish.
Alright, so I'll do 2 weeks of food and 2 water
And they eat
tanks.
other fish.
Okay, well,
That have eaten
rations
poo in the
for
ocean.
1 day
Who
is
also
5
poo
silver
themselves.
pieces. So for a week,
I don't like the ocean.
I don't really like it either.
35 silver pieces.
It's cool and
How many
everything,
gold
but I don't
pieces?
really like
What's the
figuring out
ratio
what
of
they
silver to
do.
gold?
it's 100 silver for 1 gold. So
So
a week,
2 weeks would be 70.
yes, a week worth of rations is 5 silver pieces. Or no, 1 day is 5 silver pieces, so a week is 35.
So I'll do
35
2 weeks
times
for 1
2,
gold.
70. So 7 gold.
You're gonna do 7 gold.
Yeah, because I'm buying a week of crackers and a week of jerky, so 2 weeks worth of food.
Okay, so that's only 70 silver pieces.
Yeah.
So that's less than 1 gold.
Because 10 silver is 1 gold.
No, it's 100 silver is 1 gold.
I'm pretty sure that it's 10 to 1.
100 copper is 1 silver, 100 silver is 1 gold, 10 gold is 1 platinum.
Oh, never mind.
Collect on 1 gold piece for 2 weeks worth of food. And water tanks. 2
They'll,
water
they'll
tanks.
give you 3 weeks for 1 gold.
Alright. How much for the water tanks?
You don't need water skins.
How do you know?
You have decanter that I gave to you.
Yeah, and I got to be able to put that water somewhere. I get like 5 gallons of water. I
in
can't drink all that.
my mouth.
A water skin is 2 silver pieces to fill. You want want a drink?
What kind of drink?
Okay.
The alcoholic one?
Sure.
Great. Go get yourself.
Thanks, man.
Jay Kissels.
I'll take one.
I just installing cans because it's easier. Just damage forever.
Forever.
Yep.
I also bought another water skin because one of it is full of dragon's blood, so now I have 2 that are full of water.
You better mark one of them.
Oh, yeah. It will be kept separately.
Alright, so 3 weeks of food.
I
2
hope this is the
filled
right
water.
one.
It's just completely sealed. Do not drink. So I was just like, man, I'm
Slow
thirsty.
starters,
Just like,
Michael.
take all the seals off. Water tastes kind of funny. Start like growing scales, like gray
That is
scales.
true.
Okay.
I'll take your word for it.
Diana, do you ever actually go and find Barris and ask him about armor enchanting?
No.
Yes.
Oh,
Armor enchanting, you say? Well, I did have Wilhelm researching something for me. He did say that he's a master enchanter.
Oh.
That is his forte. Potions, not so much. Unfortunately, I was going to have something made for you. But now you can ask Wilhelm to make you something.
Oh.
Why are you looking at me like I'm stupid?
Wait, this is alcoholic.
Yes.
Doesn't taste like it. It just
Oh.
tastes like kind of
Green
like apple juice.
I know. But it's 8.5%.
That's really good
for apple juice.
for apple juice. Thank you.
We're talking about armor enchantments.
Yeah, I heard.
Oh, okay.
Continue.
Told him that he should go and seek Wilhelm. Wilhelm said he's a good enchanter.
I do so. I seek out Wilhelm.
Where do you seek him out?
Where's the ship at?
It's in the hangar.
I searched the hangar.
In the
No, he is not currently at the hangar.
slippery bastard.
Where is he staying?
Well, he has a house at the edge of the city. He also has an office up on the 3rd floor of the hangar.
I checked the office.
You knock on the door and he goes, yes?
May I come in?
No, of course. And you hear like paper shuffle around and books fall on the ground. Comes over and he opens the door for you. You take a look at him. He looks like the kind of man who has not slept at home in days. There is bits of food and like different plates kind of stacked up in the corner of him eating. Various different cups. His eyes are kind of sunken in. Yeah, looks like he had a good wash in a few days. There's a kind of like a small couch in the corner with like a blanket piled up on it.
He's clearly been sleeping on it.
Yeah.
Well, I take a moment to absorb everything that I'm saying. So, I understand that my companion Varys has spoken to you concerning your forte in enchanting.
Oh yes, I'm quite adept at it.
Really?
And he says all these things that I've been looking up at you. He's still pouring over these different notes and writing things down.
What would one need for you to, say, enchant a set of armor that I have?
It would depend on what you need enchanted with it, as well as materials you have, and it takes several weeks to accomplish this. It also depends on the quality of the armor. Certain pieces of armor are more malleable and more adept to being changed.
A suit of mithril plate mail.
Good gracious. Such a thing.
Yes, indeed.
This may cut the process down a couple days, but mithril, as light as it is, it's very sturdy and not quite willing to change. Have a better time working with steel.
Well, out of curiosity, what would I need?
What would you desire upon it?
To say fortify one's constitution. Make me more hardy.
Well, I understand you carry a number of magical shriekings already, yes?
What kind of ranger are you?
Which one?
You do carry them, yes? In general.
Yes, I have many magical baubles.
Yes, well, shaping one's armor to become magical would require you to attune to it. So, I'm not aware of what you currently use in battle, but this may alter it a bit. For one's constitution, I would need to pour over the books, but depending on the boost of such a thing, anywhere is between 5,000 to 50,000 gold at least. And that's just the raw cost of materials. The time itself, several weeks, as I said. Do you have anything in your possession you wish for me to use?
That is partially why I'm here. Just, if nothing else, to acquire a list of needed materials, perhaps.
Well, enchanting is not an exact science. You can use many different things. It just depends on the property of those things. It's more or less pulling the magical energy that kind of resides in these ingredients and pulling that from it and transferring it to another piece of equipment.
Interesting.
Yeah, so do you have any ingredients you'd want me to use in general? Or?
I rummage around kind of in one of my packs. I have a gallon of ancient dragon's blood.
You find yourself, what element was the dragon? What color?
It was blue. Yeah.
Well, using this much dragon's blood, I could bathe your armor in it and perform several magical acts on it and give you resistance to lightning.
The only problem with that is it's going to take weeks. That's the set of armor I'm wearing. I can't give him my armor for weeks.
Enchanting is usually best done during downtime.
Yeah.
When you don't have anything to do for a while.
Perhaps in the future then.
Yeah, you guys just at that level where powerful things take a long time.
Yeah.
Shit. Ooh. I hate this.
I see. Well, perhaps another time then. If you spill something.
Yes.
Oh.
My dice are now bathed in whiskey.
Oh. Whiskey dice.
Yep. Now they're drunk.
That's right.
See if they roll well still.
Better hurry and clean them before you roll them and they just stick to the surface of whatever.
Whiskey doesn't have sugar in it, so that's fine.
Just
Anyway, is there anything else I can do?
Not that I can think of.
Sure. So, am I to assume you guys are all prepared for the journey ahead then?
I believe so.
Have all the items you want?
I'd like to buy a life jacket because we're going on a boat.
Okay.
The life jackets exist.
Yeah, sure.
Flotation device.
Yeah, sure.
I would like to go and find Alexia.
Alexia, where are you at currently?
What was that? Oh, I was just being like, I was just in my room. After getting food, well, I went out and got food the second day.
Mm-hmm.
So if this is like, are we on the third day now?
This is pretty much as if you were planning on going on vacation.
Oh, okay.
Over the last few days, you've bought everything you need, and now the second or the third day is just kind of like you're packing, you're preparing. You're like, I'm taking this with me. Definitely doing this. I want all these things, and you're kind of going through your list of like, do I have everything I need? Am I sure? Do I want anything else?
Well, knowing me, I'm probably already packed. Got all my stuff together.
You guys had asked about potions, and Wilhelm would tell you guys for free information that, like, yeah, there is a potion vendor that provides to the military. Perhaps you can do something with that. So if there's any potions you'd like to buy,
That's
you might
intriguing.
also go seek that information out, or seek that person out.
Okay.
Duly noted. I'll do that after I do the thing that I wanted to do.
So I guess I'm currently in my room, kind of any last minute packing, but also getting ready to go see this vendor,
Okay.
so I can get some last minute potions and kind of just pacing, putting stuff in my suit, whatever, kind of pacing some more, wondering if Maria's actually, what her decision is going to be.
Okay.
So I'm currently in my room,
Okay.
is the answer to the question.
So where do you search first?
Her room would be the first place that I search.
Okay.
Alexia, are you in there?
I am. Come in.
I open the door.
Okay.
Oh, I see you're busy getting packed. Good. I was going to ask you, do you know where Maria's at? I've been looking around the palace for her, but I can't quite seem to find her. I wanted to talk to her about whether or not she's willing to come with us. She's kind of important to our whole plan.
She's been staying at the House of Androgamy,
I see.
or their estate.
Well-
That is her home currently.
I was hoping you would be willing to accompany me as having a fellow female there would be beneficial, I think. It'd be sort of like parents talking to a child, letting them know of the dangers they're about to get into, and convincing her to come with us, but also understanding that she knows the risks of coming with us and why it's vital that she comes with us.
Well, one, I believe she understands the risks. Two, I spoke with her 2 nights ago. And I gave her the information that I felt was necessary in terms of our travel plans, and that we'd be leaving in a short, just few days after repairs were made. And I told her that it was, at that point, her decision whether she joined us or not.
I see.
So I think we just hope and wait. Maybe send a note to her saying we're preparing to leave. If you're coming, meet us at the palace at this time, and then we can all disembark from there. Otherwise, we just hope that she joins us.
Very well. I did not know that you spoke to her already. I will go and prepare a letter and have a servant go and deliver it to Androgmere Manor then.
Thank you.
Alright. See you later. Oh, by the way, I heard that there was somebody somewhere in town that sells potions to people. Maybe we could go and check that out.
Yes. Send the letter and come find me, and we can.
Do you think Ithlin would want to come along?
I guess we can invite him as well.
Do you want to do a shot with me?
Doesn't hurt to ask. Alright.
Before we're in shot. No, kidding. Zandalar forever.
Yeah,
But yes,
so
Ithlin would probably want to come along.
If anyone wants any of this, you're all welcome to it.
So I would like to go back to my room.
We're all doing it together, so peer pressure.
Oh.
Peer pressure.
One. I haven't rolled an out one yet, but
I know,
It's kinda-
Right?
it's been
And
more
then
of
it's
a...
gonna be all nat
I was
one.
kind of hoping
It's
I would.
been a nice roleplay session, though. This is one of those... It's not like maintenance, but it's like... This is story-driven time. You guys just
So-
killed a dragon. Now is what happens after that.
I'd like to write a letter to send to Maria, and in that letter I'd like to
Not that one, the other one. That's for keeping the mat flat.
outline
Got a match.
that if she... I want to make it very clear that she's the only one that can stop these weather effects that are plaguing many people, and that we need her to help us to destroy these
You
crystals.
spilled that on the mat, I'd be really upset.
And
Me too.
that the journey's going to be dangerous, and we can't guarantee that we'll be able to protect her from everything, but I will do my very best. And the choice is up to her whether or not she comes, but just to remember that sometimes we have to make hard decisions in life, and currently many people are suffering due to these strange weather effects, and there's some other plot that we're in the dark about that's going on that is the reason for all of this happening, and that the aftermath could be whatever, and that she should only come with us if she's sure. But we're going because we're idiots and we do stuff like this and charge in.
Okay.
It'd be nice to have somebody who's not an idiot have our backs.
Okay.
And then I'll
And
find...
you want the same day delivery, I assume?
Yes.
Okay.
I pay him
The same day delivery charge?
yeah.
The extra 10 silver pieces for same day delivery.
Oh, I give him like 5 gold because he's delivering to a
Oh, dude,
very
so
important...
this is kind of like a Legend of Zelda mailman who has like a bunch of like, has a satchel over his waist and he's kind of just like stuffing letters in there, and as he puts your letter inside there, he turns around, you offer him the 5 gold, and he grabs it, and he dumps everything out of the bag and picks up your letter, and he just runs off.
I just... Alrighty, now to go...
You paid him more money than he makes in a month, so...
Time to go get Alexia, and...
You guys gotta remember, 1 gold is like $100, so...
And to also go and find Ithlin.
He like runs so fast that there's like a smoke trail behind him. That's how fast he's just... Meow.
I like ponder to myself, like maybe there's a spell I can make that could make me move that fast. I'll have to think
It's
about
called
it.
poverty.
Poverty.
Oof, heavy.
Poverty motivation.
But yeah, I go and get Alexia, and we go and find Ithlin.
Okay, where's Ethelyn at currently?
I mean, I check his room first. But
is my room still like burnt down?
Over the last few days, people have painted over it. But what's interesting is that it has been painted over. But every time, and you've seen people paint over the wall and kind of just like admire it, and they're like, yeah, this is great. And as soon as they leave, you look at the wall and it doesn't look like anything's been touched by it. The word Vidolg is still burned into the wall for you.
People are acting like they can't see it.
No, make an insight check actually.
acting, or they can't actually see it? But that's a question.
10.
10?
Well,
As far as you can tell, they can't see it. You watch them paint over the wall, and they're like, "This is awesome." And you look at it, and you're like, "You didn't fucking do anything to it." They're like, "What are you talking about?"
Garbage.
And like they seem really sincere, and so you realize that maybe you're seeing something they can't see.
Interesting. But I'm just hanging out in there.
Okay. Just staring at the wall.
If I ordered wine, would they bring me wine?
Yeah.
I'm drinking wine.
Okay. So you hear a knock on the door at a certain point.
Yes, then, are you in there?
Yes.
May we come in with Alexia?
The door opens.
As your unseen servant opens it.
Mage hand.
Oh, okay.
I don't have unseen servant anymore.
Oh,
I
okay.
decided mage hand is more useful.
So it's one of those like sad dad drinking. He's just kind of like sitting in like a big comfy armchair, like a glass of wine in his hand, just kind of like sipping at it. And he's sitting in the corner, and he's kind of just staring at the wall. As soon as you enter,
I like just kind of like peer in because the door just opened by itself. I'm like, okay. I walk in. Why are you just staring at the wall?
You are magical, Varys.
I am. Thank you.
Tell me, what do you see here? And I gesture at the wall.
Prestidigitation, some glasses.
it is blank.
Which one do they have on there?
It is a freshly coat of paint, whitewashed wall.
I don't see anything other than fresh paint.
Oh, that is interesting.
Alexia, if you would hazard a look as well, you see also a freshly painted wall. There's nothing there.
I get closer to the wall and I go
Okay.
and smell.
It smells like there was a fire recently, but it's kind of like a mix of like smoke and fresh paint.
Paint fumes. I see what you were doing, old dog. Anywho, I heard a curious rumor that there was a potion master somewhere in Arya. Care to join us for a bit of searching? Potions would prove quite useful. Especially since we're going to the sea and, the cryptic riddle of diving down to the depths. It'd be nice to be able to breathe underwater.
You have a point.
Such a thing exists. And I imagine this being a militarized city, that they might have to engage in some naval warfare, or perhaps invade lands that have mostly rivers and lakes, and being able to infiltrate while being underwater seems like a useful thing. Why wouldn't they have that? Anyways, about the wall, it's new. It smells kind of smoky in here. Do you have a mishap in playing with something?
Yes, something like that.
Interesting. Well, you asked me specifically about magic, and I couldn't see anything up with the wall. Did you cast some sort of spell and wanted to see if maybe I could deduce what it was? Sounds like an interesting game. I'll have to ponder it.
Yes, well, shall we be off then?
Yes, let's. The group looked for the potion dealer.
Sure. So it's kind of like an arms store, and you'll gather that information, let's say, just for the sake of brevity. It's easy to find that information, and you kind of head down towards the shopping district, and it's kind of like small, shady, like store kind of opens up to you guys as you kind of keep walking past, like the camping supplies, the weapon supplies, the armor supplies. You kind of walk past all these things, and you start getting that feeling of like maybe we're like in the bad part of the neighborhood.
It's just like home.
Yeah, exactly. But then you kind of hit the end of it, and there's a door just wide open. Fumes kind of spilling out the windows and everything like that, and you get that strange whiff of arcane energy. The kind of thing like you smell and you're like when you do it.
Well, I believe this is probably the place. There's only a couple places I could think of that could make that kind of smell. Well, don't be shy, let's go in. I lead my party into the shop.
Okay. You walk in and it's kind of hazy. You just have to like squint your eyes, kind of like see fully through it. But it's kind of hazy, and there's this large, maybe like 6'5" guy at the counter with a apron on, and he's currently kind of just mixing these colors of like vials back and forth. And he looks up at you and he goes, "Oi, what are you doing here?"
I heard a rumor that I might be able to purchase some potions here. Is that true?
You with the military?
Not with the military, but we happen to be the ones responsible for ending the strange weather phenomenon here. Kind of heroes, to be honest.
Right. And I'm a noble.
Well, I don't know about him, but I have money.
Why didn't you say so? Please step right in. I'm Garth, and I'm here to help however I can.
Very good.
Didn't know you could be so persuasive. Why didn't I lead with that? Well, do you happen to have any potions that would allow one to breathe underwater?
He goes, well, in my humble opinion, such thing doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist, you say?
Yep. You can't breathe water. I mean, it's water.
Can I see if he's like hiding the goods?
Make an insight check, yeah.
But I need to maybe pay to see the special items. So 18 plus, okay, 32.
He humbly believes such a thing does not exist. And you hear a voice, kind of like a higher pitched, shrill voice. It's just like, "Oh my god, you fucking idiots." And a small dwarven woman kind of walks from the back room and he goes, "Never mind my apprentice, fucking idiots." And he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, mistress, I didn't mean, I was just trying to make a sell." "Oh, you're doing the right job, aren't you? Get back to cleaning the shop." And he kind of like bows again and he runs out. She goes, "Now, what can I get for you?" She kind of steps up onto a stool to be eye level with you.
Ah, well then, Miss,
Astrid.
Ashnid?
Astrid.
Oh, Astrid, there we go.
Are you hard of hearing?
Bits. I was, up on the mountains during those, lightning storms. The thunder kind of messed with my hearing a little bit, but, I asked your apprentice there if you had any potions that would allow one to breathe underwater, and he said such a thing doesn't exist.
Oh, we did, but I've already been sold out, I'm afraid.
Sold out, you say?
I mean, we've got more brewing, but there'll be a few months left.
Why is there such a demand for being able to breathe underwater?
I don't know, an elderly fella came in here just looking for the opportunity.
An elderly fellow, you say?
Aye. About 4 of them.
4 elderly people.
Not 4 elderly people, you fucking twat. He bought 4 potions.
Right.
Fucking half-elves.
You're sure maybe that you don't have any hidden away anywhere?
I'm quite sure. Now, are you here to do business or not?
I'd like some healing potions.
And that we got. That's easy to do.
Alright.
She was, got quite a few, just, freshly made. And she, out from behind the counter, she pulls up, one kind of, like fist-sized vial full of kind of like a purplish red liquid. And then she pulls up 3 vials, a little bit smaller than that. She pulls those up, and they also kind of contain the same kind of color. A little bit of like a white kind of just fluid, kind of like shifting through them, disappearing over and over again. She goes, right, now how much money you got?
Enough. How much do you want for all 3?
I mean, there's 4 here.
Oh, okay, whatever. 4.
Can all half-elves not do math? I don't get it, really.
Apparently not.
Simmer down, you snobby bitch. Now.
Oh.
She slides the larger one forward, and she goes, this one here's about 10,000 gold. Now I know you're thinking it's a lot of money, but it's top of the line. It's nothing better than this one, I promise you. She winks at you.
What would that potion...
Is she like just like hard like selling this, like is she BSing?
Make an insight check.
Like 10,000 is a lot. 27.
27? You're quite sure she is firm on her price. She knows what her product is worth.
What would this
I'm gonna,
potion
like,
give
look
me
at
that
it.
the others can't?
Oh, well, this one's more liable to save your life, probably. You find yourself at death's door, you drink this potion, maybe you don't die.
Maybe I don't die. For 10,000 gold, I shouldn't die.
Well, I don't know what kind of trouble you get yourself into. I'm not your fucking mum. And then you hear Garth like sweeping. He's like, ha ha ha! Shut up, Garth!
How much for the little vials?
Oh, these slightly smaller ones here, these are running about 6,000 each. No, she goes, also, I don't have any of those water breathing potions left, but I do have this. And she pulls out this other vial, and it's small. It's like a regular like base potion vial, but the liquid inside of it is black. And she goes, now this will get you somewhere.
And where would that be exactly? What does it do?
She goes, well, just one drop of this. And she pulls open another drawer. Like she pulls up this kind of like wooden figurine of a horse. She like pops the cork open and pours just like half the potion onto it, and the horse just vanishes.
I like put my finger towards the horse to where it was.
It's there.
I see. And how much is that going for?
So this, I'm there 600.
600? Any idea how long the effects last?
It's up to 1 hour.
Up to an hour. How many you got of those?
You got 3. 3.5, you count this one.
3.5. So with that half now, you guess it would last about half as long?
Aye.
How about I take both of the full ones and that one off your hands for 1,300.
Yeah. Make a persuasion check.
25.
How much you say?
1,300.
I'll about do it. She holds out her hand.
Like for a shake?
Yeah.
I shake her hand.
She kind of like scratches the stubble on her face, and she's like, "Oh, hi." Now about these potions.
So what's the ratio of gold to platinum? 10 to 1?
10 gold for 1 platinum.
Yep. So I will give her 1,200 gold and 10 platinum.
As you plop the platinum onto the table, she goes, "Oh, big spenders are we?"
Yep.
I'll give her 1,000 platinum for the big bottle.
Okay. She's just... Man. I don't know where you're coming from, but you got big sacks.
Upset tempted to say something.
So it's a superior healing potion. And it is 10d4 plus 20.
10d4?
Plus 20.
It's not bad.
Mm-hmm. Are you gonna buy anything else or are you wasting my fucking time?
I'm done.
Oh. Now that we've proven ourselves to be big spenders, are you sure you don't have any more of those water-breathing potions? Or if not, perhaps you could, maybe give us more of a description on who bought them? I mean, we certainly need them very much.
Some elderly bloke.
You didn't recognize him at all? He didn't have any, distinctive, symbols on him, or...
Am I supposed to recognize every elderly bloke that comes in here?
I suppose not. Well,
Fucking half-elves.
thank you for,
Look, it's not just say half-elves, it's say elves in general. Just the prissy bitches.
It's true.
thank you for your time. And then I will hold out a vial of the black liquid to each of you.
I take it.
Wait, what are you giving me?
The black vial.
Potion of invisibility.
Oh.
At least that's what I think it does. Pretty sure you drink it.
Maybe. Do you guys want to buy anything else, or?
Nope.
Okay. There are 3 of those slightly smaller vials if you guys have to buy one.
I'm good
Do
on
you have
potions.
anything
I'm
that
just
can
gonna.
restore my age?
I'm gonna go wait
My
outside
hair?
and keep my eyes out for elderly people.
Okay.
Might have been Wilhelm. Seemed like we were going.
Maybe.
He knows the treacherous waters we venture to. We're taking a shot at it.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
What? Bulb's your uncle, eh?
Oh, well, he's technically my grandfather, but
Alright, so. You guys make it to the hangar while the engineers are still loading on the last of these crates and different bags. And Wilhelm is walking around. You recognize her as the chief engineer you stole the key from the first time. And they're walking around together, and she has a checklist, and he's just like, and make sure this time to stabilize this work. We don't want to lose altitude too quickly. And I want to make sure that security on this door is doubled. It worked out last time, but we don't want anyone getting hurt. And he turns around and sees you guys, goes, "Oh, hello! I have something for you. I took the liberty of purchasing these," and he gives you a vial each of water breathing.
I like.
that's what it is, water breathing.
Mm-hmm. So
I don't have it, but I like will with all of my existence to transform like my face into a frog that has like this worried expression on his face and he's sweating.
Okay. Oh, Pepe.
1 hour duration.
Unca ass.
He goes, I certainly hope you don't need to use them, but if we are traveling to the Abyssal Edge, I don't want us to die, or at least you guys. So they work as a water breathing spell. You have 24 hours of water breathing.
Oh, 24 hours?
Yes. And it is what the potion implies. It is just water breathing. You can breathe underwater. For 24 hours.
Like from the goblet of fire.
Kinda. It's actually made with seaweed, so I mean, kinda. Gillyweed.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It is made with seaweed, so it is kind of that same principle.
That is the movie, isn't it?
No, it's the book too.
Well, I'm thinking the title. Did I say the title right? Or am I
Goblet of
totally-
Fire? Yes.
Yeah.
Goblet of Fire,
Okay.
yeah.
I was just like, that didn't
The
sound
only thing
right.
they didn't add in the movie that was in the book was the whole, like, goblin humane rights that Hermione did.
Yeah.
That entire part was not in the book, or the movie. Yeah, it turns out Hogwarts employs house elves to cook, and that's where all the food comes from. And Hermione found it out, and she's like, I'm gonna free them all! And Harry and Ron were like, you dumb bitch.
But they're employed, aren't they?
Yeah, they are employed.
Not slaves, they're employed.
Yeah, they're not enslaved. They all wear clothes and everything. Like they're
You
completely
guys have all
free.
got some pretty good jobs at the safest place in the world. Free you, get you out of
Not with
here.
Harry living there. It's so dangerous.
But yeah, that's
Yeah.
what she decided. She's like, this is inhumane.
I mean,
Anyway, we digress.
We did digress.
But yeah, Gillyweed.
Anyways, after he gives you those, he kind of rubs his hands together and he goes, well, shall we be off? Vanden, was it? I've not been in many years. I'm excited to see the place.
you wouldn't happen to have a list of all the people that are aboard the ship, do you?
No, but I know my crew.
Have you seen the young girl that was traveling with us previously?
I have not.
Should wait
Perhaps she
for-
decided not to join us.
Perhaps. Maybe we should wait. Maybe we should go and fetch her. Or no, let's just wait. Let's wait.
As you guys start to ponder this, you hear kind of like footsteps come up behind you guys, and she comes up from the deck below, and she goes, "I've been waiting forever for you guys to get here. You're
The deck below, she was here.
You're
Wilhelm.
really, you're late."
So it would seem you made up your mind then. You understand the possible dangers and the consequences.
I understand the dangers. I don't entirely trust you three. No offense, but I know that this power I have, it's meant for something greater. And I can't describe it. There's a calling I have.
Perhaps that calling is to do the right thing.
No, it's more like I'm being pulled in a certain direction, and I can't avoid it.
Well, that is my calling, is to try and do the right thing. So doing all this, I believe we're ready to take off now then.
Do you not trust us because of what Lawless has told you? Or because of what you've seen yourself?
I know that both my fathers have died because of you three. And I know that you rush headlong into danger, and I know that you don't think things through.
Yummers.
I don't know if I agree with Lawless's assessment of you guys, but I do agree that, as he always said, whatever must be done, and I intend to do whatever it takes.
Well, so you knew the risks that he was taking by completing the journey that he set out on with us.
Very well. And Wilhelm kind of if you guys are done, whatever this is, I do believe we're to be off.
Yes.
To see the wizard,
Let us be
the
off.
wonderful wizard of Oz.
Strap in, as they say. Ha ha! And he looks to the engineer next to him and he goes, full speed ahead, Captain! And with that, once again, the airship, it kind of rises above, and there are many other workers there. They're kind of pulling these levers to make sure the roof kind of splits apart and opens as the airship rises. And the ship rises above, and again, you are in this breathtaking view of the above view of Arya, just looking down at them, and many of them look like ants, and many of them look like a world apart as you guys are above them entirely. And then the ship kind of wheels about, and then it starts to fly forward. And in a few moments' time, you are just flying above vast ocean, nothing but ocean as far as the eye can see. And you recall this journey from Vanden to Arya, and it was stormy and horrible, and it's kind of this tranquil, beautiful thing now as you look at it. You see the birds have kind of returned, they're kind of flying around, and Varys, the whale you wanted to see, actually kind of jumps out and lands again.
I rush over the edge and just furiously whale watch.
With the storm gone, the aquatic life has seemed to return, and you look out and you see this beautiful landscape of what the world really is. It's alive, it's flourishing, it's relentless, and it gives you kind of a moment of resolve as you understand what you're fighting for.
You guys just hear me go, my god, it's beautiful and flat, just like they said it was.
Oh, I forgot you're a flat earther.
Everyone in this is a flat earther.
I like to imagine Iflin's like, whoa. Iflin's like, it's not flat.
Yeah,
Seems flat to me.
I'm smart enough to know that it's not.
It's definitely flat.
I like to imagine Iflin is. He's the one person that advocates it's not a flat earth. So the next couple days are yours for whatever you want to do within reason, as you are on an airship. You can't exactly go and explore other things, but is there anything in particular you guys like to handle on the few days? It's about a day and a half to Vanden from airship, as opposed to like the week journey it was on ship. Straight ship. Water ship.
Ship.
So it's about a day and a half, and so during that time, you guys are free to do whatever you want, to have whatever discussions you would like.
I would like to talk to Maria.
Okay.
Oh, little girl, bored?
Did you just say, oh girl?
Hello, little girl, bored?
And she kind of like doesn't even look back at you. She spent most of her time at the helm of the ship. She's kind of looking over and just kind of like looking at like the sky and the water, and she's just like, I'm always bored.
Definitely bored then. Do you want to help me out with something?
Not particularly.
Fantastic. Hold this.
What do you give her?
I give her the Rod of Absorption.
Okay. She does not catch it. She rolled a natural one.
Throw it at her. I was just like, here.
Her eye
Well,
hand
given she wasn't paying
off.
attention, you kind of just like gently tossed it, and she turned around just in time to see it, and she's just like, and drops it.
Falls off the ship.
That'd be funny.
Yeah. And she kind of looks at the ground, and you can see she's slightly embarrassed, and she's like, what is that?
That is a magical rod that I found when we defeated the Giant King. I'd like your help in charging it up.
And how would I do that?
Well, you just hold the rod and, take an hour, just kind of sit there with it, and then I'm going to start throwing spells at your face. Or if you want, you can throw spells at me and I'll use it. The rod absorbs magical powers to be stored for later. I think it would be useful to have it charged up a bit before we go into our next big fight. You know what? I'll have you throw stuff at me. That way you're not the one who's sitting there taking it all in. After all, having you blow up would be problematic, so I take the rod back and I go, alright. Now for this to work, you have to throw a spell that would only affect me. So, go for it.
Okay.
Preferably something that's not going to explode horribly.
So we'll do this, first of all. That's a really good roll for you. Okay. You will receive 10 spell spell slots worth of power from over the course of doing this for the next couple hours. But it's not that Maria gets too tired, it's that you get tired. As you're kind of standing there holding the rod, and this onslaught of spells that comes at you, you feel your knees kind of buckle every time. As the rod absorbs it, you feel the force of it still. Over the course of the next couple hours, let's see how many hours it takes. 2 hours. Over the course of the next 2 hours, you watch Maria go ahead and make an Arcana check, actually. 7. She just casts an onslaught of spells at you. You're not even sure where they come from or what they are, but she just casts spells relentlessly at you. Are you nearby, perchance? Or either of you nearby that you want to watch this? Or
I'm just
You guys don't want to watch Harry
Sitting-
and Voldemort Wizard Duel?
with my back against one of like the big masts with like my life vest on, just kind of sitting
even though you're
there.
in the air?
We're flying over the ocean.
Okay.
Just kind of like, I just kind of like
He's the one
overhear
with the
something
massive brain.
like, Ferris, she's a child. She's not gonna help you charge your rod.
This is no child. If you were using my rod to get charged up, you would know that this is incredibly taxing. I can't keep up.
Oh my.
Since you're watching, you make an Arcana check as well as you'd like. 19. Peculiar to you. You've watched Maria fight before, and for the most part, she casts spells of different schools of wizard magic. But you've watched her conjure kind of like radiant energy from a divine school of magic. You've watched her conjure kind of elemental magic from a druidic school of magic. Over the course of those 2 hours, you're kind of like watching and having this exchange. You see her cast every known kind of spell possible at Varys.
Interesting.
Well, and I like hold up the rod, which is, I assume is like kind of like going
Yeah.
glowing. It would seem that we've managed to get it charged up quite a bit. Have to be careful not to overdo it though. I've managed to determine that it has a set capacity. Once it hits that capacity, it loses all of its magic. But good work for today.
And you say this kind of sweating profusely, and like your knees are weak, and you're just like, I'm good for the day, thank you.
And then I walk over to her and I like go for a low 5.
She kind of like looks at your hand, like not even phased by the spell she's cast, and she's just like, okay, and turns around.
I just like and then walk off.
Were you watching by chance? Or?
Yeah, I'm just leaning.
Okay, go ahead and make an Arcana check as well.
Quietly.
See if you notice that as well. You need at least a 15. I'll say that.
9.
9? Yeah.
I'm not being that
You
much.
can't really identify them, but you just watch Maria cast an onslaught of spells, just one after the other. The equivalent of this is if a normal spell costs a standard action to cast, seems like Maria is casting them at a bonus action pace. She's just like boom, 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 boom. But Ithlin, you know that it's been every possible conceivable type of magic.
I go to like the side of the ship and just kind of like sit up, like my back up against the wall and just
Just kind of pass out.
yeah, I just die.
Yeah. Your arms feel like the tingle of like the spell being absorbed, but like the force behind it still traveling through your body. And so it's kind of like you had this really intense workout the entire 2 hours you did this, where like your body has taken the force of all those spells, but the rod has absorbed the damage of them all.
Nice. I just sleep peacefully.
Yeah.
I dream about whale watching.
Is there anything else you guys want to do?
Nope.
Alright, so the next day occurs, and as you guys fly forward, the air gets really, really chilled. And it's very equivalent to when you guys started heading towards Belgrade for the first time. Like, it's fucking freezing. Like, I don't like this at all. It's very, very cold. And up in the sky, there's kind of this white blanket of mist up there still. And as you guys fly through that, it gets even more cold, and you're just like, I really don't like this at all. And winter jackets are kind of dispositive between everyone. All the crew members are wearing like furry coats at this point, still going about their work. And over the next couple hours, you guys kind of break through the fog, and you see Virendran, and most of it's encased in ice.
I don my winter wear.
How close are we to Vanden?
You guys are, like, after the next few hours of you arriving there, you guys are kind of hovering above it. And a lot of the workers are kind of looking over the ship, and they go, what the fuck is happening?
I go to the helm of the ship and I begin playing the harp,
Okay. What do you want to do?
attempting to change the weather.
Okay. So give me what you would like it to be, and then I will say, since you are still discovering how to use this harp, given the fact that it's a legendary item,
Yeah.
go ahead and make me an Arcana check as well. So what do you want to do first of all?
Okay. So, just so that I know character-wise, what is the normal climate supposed to be like at this time of the season?
So it was summer. It's still like midsummer. Like when the festival, when your guys' celebration festival happened, it was the end of summer.
End of summer.
So it was like the hottest day of the year,
Going into fall
before the weather kind of breaks. You guys have been on your journey since then for about a month and a half. So it's bracing towards fall, I believe.
Okay.
It's fall after summer, right?
Yeah.
I can never remember.
So if it's gonna be fall, I want to make the weather so it's not snow and ice anymore. I want to make it so it's like a.
Well, so that's the thing. It's not snowy or icy at all. It's just that Virendran itself is frozen over.
Okay. Then I just want to make the weather. I want to make it hotter.
Okay. Like,
Not like summer day hot, but
like Banyang hot?
not like Banyang.
Because I think you can do that technically.
I just want to make it like a nice day, but not like unbearably like hot day.
Okay.
Clear skies.
So first I'll have you make an Arcana check.
14.
14. Okay. Go ahead and make a performance check with disadvantage.
Look at us, guys. Okay. That's 16.
16. You guys hear Varys play this tune from the harp, and it's not perfect. You guys hear like the little tiny bits of like, this was the wrong string, fuck. But it's very, very quickly corrected. And so you have a slight half a second to be like, that fucking sucks. So like, oh, that's enjoyable. As Varys plays this harp, and you've never heard him play this song before. It sounds old and ancient at the same time, as well as just kind of like uplifting. As you guys hear him play this song, you guys feel better, more at ease, more relaxed, and after a few moments of Varys playing this song, your winter coats become unbearable as the heat just whoosh appears.
Oh.
I know it does.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I know it does. I read it, don't worry. I rolled the
Nice.
harp and I was like, I have to read this now. Great. So you were making it like, not the hottest summer day, but a very hot summer day? Okay. Woo! So the sun kind of parts the icy mist in the sky, and it dissipates after a few moments, and the sun is just full out blazing hot. And you guys find your winter coats very uncomfortable. Most of the crew are taking them off at this point, just like, oh my god, why? And just dropping on the ground. Like, will it make up its mind? I don't understand it.
Alright, I would like to go and find Wilhelm.
Okay.
Because I assume he's the one who is.
He's removing like the kind of shawl around his robes. He's just like, oh, it's so warm. Where did that come from?
Yes, quite warm. Any chance you could land us?
I can land you outside of Vanden, but
That's good enough.
I don't think they built a this kind of thing there.
Yes, I'm sure many places don't have a place for ships that fly in the air to land. Land us.
Just land where?
The ship kind of wheels about.
Open field.
The ship kind of wheels about and spins in a circle, and it lands you about 15 minutes away from Vanden's main entrance. And you land on the ground, and you look down, and like the grassy fields surrounding Vanden are completely iced over still. And so when you guys finally jump off the ship, like you land on solid icy ground.
Snowshoes.
Oh, I guess you do have snowshoes.
I
But
have snowshoes.
I kind of like look at the harp and I'm like, well,
I have spiky shoes.
it seems that I was able to make it a little hotter outside, but the weather effects still remain. I don't know how long we have, but just make haste to the crystal.
yeah, what you basically did was you guys are not affected by the weather right now. It is not cold for you, so
Perfect.
yeah, you're able to counteract the cold weather effects.
My armor is delicate. I didn't want my diamond nipples to cut holes.
Yeah. And then that's it was like 10d4 rounds, I think.
It takes 10 times a d4 of minutes.
Yeah, so go and roll a d10.
for
Or no, it's 10, so roll d4. So 10 times 4.
Four.
So 40 minutes.
Well, it takes says takes 1d4 times 10 minutes for the new conditions to take effect, and once they do so, you can change the conditions again, and spell ends weather
Okay.
gradually return to normal. It says it lasts
Yeah,
for
that's
8
about as
hours.
much time as it took you to fly to Vanden and land there, so that's the point where the weather takes effect.
So for the next 8 hours, but I don't know that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, ready to go? And I look at Maria.
And, her eyes kind of like flare up, and she says, "Yeah, I'm ready."
I see that you're ready. Well, the crystal was in the center of the town, so it'll be a little bit of a walk, but I'm sure we'll be able to make it. It's relatively a nice day out. If I do say so myself, and I begin walking towards Vanden.
When you guys originally hit Vanden as it was freezing over, you were able to find a way out of the town. Took some maneuvering and took some crawling and climbing, but I will say you guys remember how to get back to that way. So you guys can find the weird kind of like side entrance of Vanden that you guys originally exited from, and crawl back over that and maneuver your way through the different icy tunnels. And it's just as you left it. As you guys walk through the different parts of town, there are still people frozen over, doing whatever they were doing beforehand. People running after each other and playing. People having a conversation. Mid-conversation, they're frozen. You see a dog kind of running down the street and like two kids chasing after it, frozen in place. The entire town is just frozen as what it was doing beforehand. And you remember that this is a fate that you were spared because Ingrid cast a spell on you guys at the last minute.
That's right. I was thinking Gertrude.
But as you guys make your way through this town, it's just this frozen, kind of stopped in time city at this point. And it's not before long you hear that faint kind of like meow, meow, meow sound as you get closer to the center of the town. And as you break into the town square, you see that huge crystal, many cracks at this point, less solid than you guys last saw it, just spread across it. It looks as if it's about to shatter any moment. In the center of town, hovering there, the king and all his subjects, the elves of Amira, the residents of Vanden, still frozen in celebration when last you left them.
Well, it's good to see none of them have been broken since we left.
Didn't we break someone?
Nope. Didn't happen.
I don't remember you guys
There
breaking
is
someone,
breaks.
but it's possible.
I remember breaking a door down and taking clothes from inside of the
Yes, you
shop.
did do
and
that,
I
yeah.
left gold.
You did leave gold.
Did someone try flying someone out?
Hmm? Someone try what?
Did we try
Thawing?
thawing someone?
I remember suggesting that, and then someone shut me down, and then we left.
Alright.
I suggested that we went and go and get lumber and bring it back and make a bonfire, basically, and just to test to see what would happen. And someone was like, "No, that's a bad idea." So,
As you guys do head closer to the center of town, even with the weather being so intensely hot and counteracting, as you guys head closer to the center of town, like you start getting like that chill up your spine, like weird breeze just happened kind of thing. And as you get closer and closer, that chill kind of intensifies.
it wasn't like this when we left it, was it? Crystal?
Probably.
It's all cracked and stuff. Do you think that has to do with the fact that we killed the dragon before, or immediately killing it and then leaving? Do you think maybe it'll go away on its own?
No. There were cracks in the crystal after we killed Andragnir, but not enough to destroy the crystal by itself.
Interesting.
I
Well,
think perhaps if we kill the dragon, we just weaken the crystal, but we don't get rid of the portal altogether.
like weakening it to the point that the big guns over there can take it out, and I look at Maria.
Yeah.
Well then, I'll do your thing.
She walks up to it and just kind of places a hand on this huge, massive white crystal, and this blue kind of energy starts like spreading from her hands all around it, and the crystals start to like reform and solidify again, and she holds it there for a moment, and much like the crystal when you guys fought in Dragnir, the crystal becomes whole again, and then after a while implodes into itself and disappears entirely, and the gust of wind and ice coming from it disappears, but the city remains frozen.
Damn it!
Well then, would seem that only time will tell whether or not these people are able to be saved. Perhaps now that the crystal's gone, the weather will return to a normal state and they'll thaw out on their own.
Can Maria like distinguish what type of magic this is? Like, does she
You
sense
could ask her.
anything? I ask her.
What do you ask her? How do you word it?
This did not go as planned. Are you able to sense what kind of magic is keeping Bandon frozen?
Seems many days have passed since this breach happened. This continent may be too late.
Well,
And she kind of like walks around, like looks at all different people, and she kind of like you see a sense of familiarity with her. She's like, I remember some of these people, not all of them, but a couple of them at a time. She's like, I remember that person.
does she see Ingrid?
She kind of walks around. Eventually, she sees Ingrid, and she looks at her, and she's just like, "Not so great a teacher now, are you?"
Oh, jeez. Rough.
Yes, Ingrid. She shielded us when the initial blast that froze everything happened. She sacrificed herself so that we would be able to escape and stop whatever happened here from happening to other places. I told you before. It's up to you whether or not you decide you want to continue on and destroy these crystals. Stop what's happening in other areas.
This is happening everywhere.
It is. You've already stopped 2 of the 4 that we know of.
She kind of turns back to Ingrid and she goes, "You stupid bitch. Always telling me to control my powers. Don't let them rule me. Suppress them. If only you knew how powerful I really was." She kind of like looks at her and she's like, I hate you.
I just let her vent.
And finally she turns around and she goes, I'll show you how powerful I really am. And this aura kind of envelops her. And the mark on her forehead kind of like flares forward again. And her eyes just whoosh with this intense light. And as you guys are standing on the solid ice ground, you look underneath you and it kind of just starts to fade away.
Oh, thank you.
What are you doing?
She's not replying.
Just look around and observe the results. What's happening?
She's unfreezing the air.
Spog.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
In a
this
matter of
has
moments, the
nothing
people
to do
around
with
you,
it.
exactly the way they were before, they're like cheering, just like they were for you guys originally when you were
We're not
here.
even
They're
there.
like, yeah! And the king's like, our champions! Exactly as it was beforehand. And then as they continue that thought, they kind of stop for a second and they look around, and that sense of time lost is now affecting them as they go, I feel strange. And the aura kind of fades away from Maria, and the eyes shift back to normal, and the mark disappears, and she kind of collapses on the ground.
Would you mind?
What?
I try catching her before she
Scooping that
actually
up.
drops.
You run out there and kind of slide on your knees and like
Carrying
catch
her
her before
around.
she falls.
Never mind, she's got it.
Holding her in your arms, you look at her and you see these kind of like, they look like scars almost, starting to like spread from her chest up on her neck. And you see those there, they weren't there before.
We're next to Ingrid, right?
Ingrid is currently just
Because
like
that's who
looking
she
around.
was like yelling at.
She's
before
currently
she
just
did
like
this.
looking around. The expression of worry kind of disappearing from her face, and more so like, what the fuck just happened? And she sees you guys, and she goes, what's happened?
Oh, you know, just you and everyone in Vanden were encased in ice for like a month or so. But welcome back,
A month.
give or take.
Took you a month to fix this.
Well, we needed to find someone very special, and I point towards Maria.
She looks at her and goes, the girl.
She's the one who unfroze everybody. Destroyed that stupid crystal in the middle that was the cause of all this. Seems they're tied to some ancient dragons. They're gateways to other realms. We've already destroyed two.
She just, seems you have much to tell me.
Without exposing too much, I expose more of whatever is like crawling up, or like the markings on her, and I ask Ingrid, "Do you know what this is from?"
I assume the girl hurt herself.
Oh, she's a bitch. Okay.
The girl here has more magical power than most of us will ever hold in our lifetimes.
Have you ever heard of an aether mark?
Yes, I've heard stories, child.
What were their stories? What did they say?
They possess all the power in the world, an unlimited connection to the magic realm, capable of wielding all schools of magic.
Maria is the aether mark.
Yes, I'm sure she is.
Anywho, I would like to go and approach.
Did you slap her, really?
I'd like to.
Do you want to?
No. She's being a real bitch though.
I'd like to talk to the king of Vanden.
Okay. As you kind of like run up to him, some of the soldiers are coming from the back gate, and they're like, there's some kind of ship outside. It wasn't there before. It's very large, bigger than the ship I've seen.
Large
Also, it's
and
floating,
in
sir.
charge.
Don't be alarmed, it is with us.
Tis
With Alexia, the champion of Vanden. That's how we got here.
There's It was no tear moment.
I know it's quite confusing right now, but as you can see, the crystal that is no longer in the center of town.
Oh, yes, it was providing cooling air for us.
Indeed. The crystal ended up being a portal to another dimension in which a very large dragon resided. And something happened to where the crystal began pulsating and it released a wave of destruction that froze the entire city and everyone in it. It's been frozen for over a month, sir.
A month.
Indeed.
An entire month.
I walk up with Maria in my arms.
I tell him the date, whatever it was.
Okay.
Yes, it is this date.
A curious thing for you guys is the dancers that were up on stage where the kind of like tan-skinned elf with the silver hair originally was. As she's the only one not there, the other dancers kind of like look around and go, where's Shara? Where is she?
Shara, you say?
It's going in the spank bank.
Now I have a name for it.
So every time before when you would call out, there was just nothing. Now you have a name to say.
Yeah.
I gently set Maria down and approach the elves to inquire more about Shara.
Well, they're not elves. They're various.
Well, whatever the dancers.
Yeah.
The group
And
of dancers.
potentially like the feat that lets you recall anything you've heard or seen
asked
in the
them
past
who
month.
this
With
Shara
the
is.
precise detail.
She was a lead dancer. She looked great in that outfit, that's for sure. You know, even the females are just like
to provide
yeah,
like tissues later.
Unfortunately, Shara was involved
Take
in
the evidence
whatever
away.
maleficent thing happened here. She was the only other person moving, and she fled
What are you
after
talking
Vanden
about?
was frozen over.
What are you talking about? Nothing. What?
I don't have time to catch you up, but if Shara was going to leave, where would she go?
I don't know. No one knew where she was from or if she had any family.
When did she become part of the dancing group?
6 months ago?
Where did you encounter her?
She just inquired about joining the group and she had some serious moves and... Well, we had to let her in.
Where?
We were just coming back from a trip from Banyang and we met her in Bastion.
Nice.
Alright, so it's been 1 month. They met her 6 months before that. So it's been like 7 months since they met her. How long since the weather in Banyang shifted?
You know? Because you can write it down. So.
That's right. Yeah, that's fair.
Go ahead and make an intelligence check. And since you didn't write it down, I'll give you disadvantage on it.
Aww.
Natural 20, but the 13.
15.
15? You recall the Emperor Banyang, Lord Azuma, the new emperor, had said that it's been about 3 months since the weather phenomena started in Banyang. You also know that the weather phenomena in Aria started around the same time.
Where has your group been in the last 3 months?
Oh, we've been everywhere. Boulder's Gate, Waterdeep, Luskin. Here, it's been wonderful.
Aria?
Oh yeah, a couple times.
Fallguard?
Once or twice. I can't stand the cold, really.
Have you been any place north of Fallguard?
No.
So from where I'm at, talking to the king and where Alexia's at, Is there any chance I have the ability to eavesdrop on their conversation?
Who?
On Alexia's and the dancers?
Yeah, probably. With your passive perception.
Well, Your Majesty, I would suggest holding a gathering to let the townsfolk know that some time has passed that they're not aware of. Try and explain it the best you can. Believe me, it's all true. As crazy as it sounds. But,
I mean, we have them all here. Why not tell them yourself?
But we're all working to make sure that this doesn't happen anywhere else. In fact, it's already actually happening in other places, and we are currently doing our best to stop what's going on. But if you'll excuse me, I've overheard something important that I need to discuss with my friend. I will head over to Alexia after.
Where? The dancers are right behind the king, so it's not hard to overhear it.
Yeah. Alright. So, what was her name? Shasa?
Shara.
Shara? Shara. Okay. Excuse me, ladies. Do you happen to have anything of Shara's with you? Anything at all? Anything that she used? A hairbrush or any makeup?
I'm afraid she was rather private. Didn't really share her belongings with anyone.
Did you happen to have a room or a caravan or something where you would go and have everyone get into costumes, that sort of thing?
Well, I mean, usually the venues provided that. We took different carriages around the city and the countryside, but...
Do you know which of the venues she was at where she would change?
She was here a few moments ago, before the performance started.
Right, but before the performance, when you were all getting dressed up and ready.
Before the performance? We were in the castle.
In the castle? Do you know if she had a room?
No room.
Did you all share a room?
We were locked in the area to change.
Could you show me where that is?
I suppose. I don't really remember what area of the castle it was.
Please, it's very important.
It feels like it was only a few hours ago, but much longer? I don't...
Yes. But perhaps taking a stroll in the castle with a handsome young fellow you would remember.
Trying to smash face. Orgy time.
I'm not trying to smash, doing recon. Just trying to be charming.
Smash and grab.
Another natural one. Okay, so I'm not doing well.
Dang it.
So these group of 4 other girls, they kind of lead you around the courtyard of Castle Vanden, and they lead you around the outside, and they lead you on the inside, and after about 30 minutes, you're like, I've definitely seen that entrance before. I've been here before. And around the 3rd time you hit that spot, they look around. I think it's this way.
They don't know what they're doing.
Perhaps I would be able to find it on my own. Thank you for your help, though. It was a pleasure enjoying such a wonderful evening with some beautiful women such as yourselves.
Make a general charisma check.
Natural.
Oh my god.
But the total's like 28.
GG.
Oh yeah, they all blush like indescribably. They're just like, oh my god, he's so cute.
He's like the coolest old guy I've ever seen.
Exactly.
Daddy's home.
Such a silver fox.
One of them kind of like, as they start to leave, one of them comes up to you and like kind of puts her arms around you and like runs her fingers through your beard, and she's just like, I mean, I'll be in town for the next few days.
I'll be sure to keep it in mind.
And then she leaves.
Ladies, and then walk off into the castle.
Okay.
Ladies' name.
It's as you remember. At this point, you've been
I
through every
search.
inch of Castle Vanden.
I want to search until I find a room that I'm sure is the room that they were all put in to change and do stuff.
Make an investigation check. For something so specific, I have a disadvantage though.
Oh. 8.
Yeah, unfortunately, you're just as lost as the girls were. As you walk around, there's no evidence anyone was here.
I don't know where things are at because it's not covered in ice anymore.
Yeah.
This place doesn't look familiar at all now.
There's just no clear evidence anyone was here in the rooms you go through, unfortunately.
I will return to the celebration.
Why don't you just ask the king where he put the dancers?
Well, Varys is gone, and while you're talking, you would talk to the other dancers, and Varys came up. Ethelyn, what are you doing?
That's a good question. I need to go back to wherever my room was and make sure all my stuff is okay. All my books and things, because that's what's important.
Before the keep was revealed, or unveiled rather, and you guys were allowed to move in, you guys were staying at the end. So you rush back there really quick, and anything you had left there beforehand is there. Whatever minuscule books or pieces of paper, or even just like a pair of different trousers, they're still there. Nothing's really changed.
Oh, thank goodness.
I've been looking for these trousers.
Dirty old trousers.
Your lucky trousers?
Yeah.
For the sake of brevity, though, we will say that you spend the next few hours kind of explaining to the king and the important people of the kingdom anyways, his advisors, the knights, people eventually return to their homes and they're just confused. They're experiencing that time loss, but they don't understand the time loss. As you guys explained to King Raylan, he kind of spreads this among his followers and he goes, just make sure people know what's going on. I will sit here and figure out our next move. And at that point you guys are in his council chambers.
But Baby Willow.
You can find Baby Willow.
Okay.
If you like to, you can do that first.
No, it's okay, I'll find her later.
Okay. But after a while, you guys are in his council room. So it's you three, him, a handful of his armed guard, and that's it. And he steps forward and he crosses his arms and he goes, now explain to me what's going on.
Short version?
As much detail as possible, please.
Watches.
You're telling me I've lost an entire month?
Yep. Alright. So we were
Make sure you
at the
project.
festival. Oh man. I don't even remember what's happened over the past month. Okay, so we were at the festival.
Mm-hmm.
That cooling crystal was bad news bears. Things happened, it went and then Vanden was frozen. Everyone, the whole area frozen over. My companions and I jumped into the crystal. It was a portal. We found a white dragon. We killed it. We came back through the portal. We went to
Felgard.
Falgard. Some shit went down there. We encountered a dragon. We killed it. Yeah. Then we went to Banyang. We did not encounter a dragon, but we know that one's there. We have not found that crystal yet, but we will be going back. We got information on where the dragons could potentially be. We've been working our way through riddles to figure out where to go. We went to Aria, encountered blue dragon, killed it, destroyed crystal. Came back here to destroy crystal. Did that. Maria unfroze the area. Now you're caught up.
Perhaps the short version for now. That's too much at once.
That was the short version.
Kind of like rubs his temple. He's like, this is too much.
Alright, basic what you need to know. 4 dragons. 2 have been slain. We are on a quest to slay the next 2 and return the different areas of the world to their original climates. Because currently everywhere is experiencing crazy weather phenomena. Except Arya because we fixed it, and Vanden because we fixed it. And Fog. Sure, Fog. Our next destination is somewhere north of Fallguard, known as the Abyssal Edge, where we think we will encounter our next dragon. Questions? I gauge the room.
The king and his guards are just like,
Yes, dragons are real.
why are we killing them? Why are you killing them? I don't.
Our knowledge so far has shown a connection between the dragons and their open portals to the drastic weather changes in the different regions.
The gods feed the dragons. They seek to seal them away. They are forcing their way into our world. If they do so, they would unleash chaos, ruin, the apocalypse, most likely. So we are doing what we can to stem the tide.
Dragons are real.
Yes.
Not just stories.
That's right. Much like how the story of the moving castle and the man that was supposedly taking women turned out to be true, and their champion managed to defeat and stop. Thought it was just a story too, but it turned out to be real.
I believe you, it's all a bit much to take in at once. Well, you've not steered me wrong so far. Is there anything I can do to assist you?
There is one thing. The next area we've decided to go to seems to be somewhere out in the sea. We have that airship that Dorman told you about that flies above the ground, but it would not make it out to the sea to where we need to go. But we do have our own magical vessel, but we don't have a crew to help us to sail properly. If we could be provided with some men to just take us out to where we need to go and then take us back, it'd be most helpful.
A crew. Yes, we have naval officers. Good. With the time lapse, though, I don't. We have much to catch up on. Has the entire world been affected as such?
We know that here in Vanden was affected. Somewhere north of Fallguard, our next destination, is affected. I believe they said there were maelstroms.
No, I mean, is the rest of the world affecting a time loss as well?
Ah, time loss. No, it was just here in Vanden, because this area was frozen over. Everywhere else, it's different.
I have many meetings to make up for.
I imagine so. Yes.
Perhaps we should speak with the crew on the airship to see if any of them can sail.
Well, we were the crew of an airship. I mean,
Yeah, but we'd be adding, how many people would we need to sail?
A full ship needs at least 10 people to effectively navigate it.
So we'd be adding 10 people. Our
If we're gonna have
supplies
10
would
people do-
decrease faster.
if we're going to be having 10 people do everything, but I mean, why not have 3 of us help out? We
Alright, so
sailed
7
the ship
people.
by ourselves, yeah.
We might need more supplies then, in terms of food and water to...
This is why it took so long for you guys to get to Aria. You were 3 people.
And they shouldn't be in any danger, really. We just need them to get us to the location, not go in with us. That stuff is left to
Maybe Maria
heroes
can
and
magically
idiots.
sail the boat.
which we certainly are.
I will do what I can. I have much to make up for, though, and few resources. I feel we will be fixing this 1 month of time for the next few months. I have many people to reach out to. But do not see me as ungrateful. I don't know where I'd be without you three. Without you, Alexia. I know the ceremony was cut short, and he produces this large kind of iron key and he puts it on the table and he goes, your home is awaiting.
I take it happily.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well,
Should we...
got our destination. Probably secured a crew. Just need to get them some supplies and we'll be good to go.
I asked the king, would you be able to speak with some men to find out who'd be willing to crew our ship and take this journey with us by tomorrow?
My resources are limited, Alexia. I'm sorry. If you have a crew, I suggest using that. I have many missives and many other things to attend to at this moment.
I'm sure we can hire some people in town. Or maybe even in Volgard, we can make a stop and hire some people there.
I mean, they didn't have a time left, so might be the better option.
Let's, we should return to the airship and let them know what's happened here.
What time of day is it?
It's say the evening at this point.
Okay. Well, we can take the airship closer to the keep, unload some of the goods, give everyone a night's rest, supply up in the morning, and head out.
Sounds good.
That's the plan.
Oh.
So we head back to the airship. We tell them what's going on. And so we fly over to the keep, have them land or whatever. I mean, we don't have anything to like furniture-wise to provide, but if anyone has like bedrolls or whatever, then, or if they just want to sleep on the airship, then that's fine. But
Okay.
we'll rest for the evening, and then we want to potentially get extra supply. Wait, are we getting extra people in Fallguard? Is that what we're doing? Then we may not need extra supplies
Yeah, you
here.
brought
We
up
could
a
get
point
extra
of-
supplies there.
Brought up a point of the time lapse, so it might be good to let these people settle in,
Yeah.
get their lives back to normal. So
I highly doubt
Fallguard.
any store or any shops are going to be open with people trying to get back on track. So
Yeah.
we'll
Fallguard
probably
has
just
the
leave in
best
the
sailors.
morning and then head to Fallguard and try to get people for sailing our boat and any supplies to put on the boat for us and the sailors. I guess is kind of the plan. So sleep and then leave in the morning.
Okay. It's much like moving into a new home for the first time. There's nothing here. There's no furniture. And there's a bunch of things piled in certain parts of the room. The engineers opt to stay on their own ship as has bedding and things like that. And so the three of you kind of spend your time in this huge empty keep, essentially. Just you guys kind of walk around, and there's several rooms available, several floors. There's a large courtyard, different basement levels. This is a massive area, and it's kind of your guys' to create and mold into your own area, to make your own situation.
I hire a librarian.
So you can't right now, but that is good to know. I'll write that
When
down.
available. Is the vault put like together, or do we still have to?
The vault is
get
about
that?
all you could access right now.
Okay. I'd like to
I already have it
recruit.
written down, so you're fine.
I'd like to recruit some of the airship guys to unload like our chests of money and gems and
Okay,
stuff.
well,
into
how
the
much
vault.
money? What you have to write down is how much money is in the vault and how much is on your person, and you cannot just withdraw from the vault willy nilly if you're not by the vault.
Yeah.
So it's your guys' choice to kind of put however much you want into the vault.
Mhm.
But you have this large, empty castle, essentially. The three of you spend your first night there, just kind of huddled around a little makeshift fire, not trying to ruin the decor, but also trying to stay warm. Just kind of hovering around, and every time you hear the slightest noise, there's this large, like, breeze throughout the castle, and it's kind of someone invading. You have to weigh that kind of paranoia. You're just in this large, empty building by yourself for the first time. But it is the accumulation of everything you guys have earned, and the things you've been working towards, and as a gift from the city itself to you three as heroes, and anyone else who allies themselves with your cause. And so you spend your first night there, not as comfortable, not as luxurious as you'd wish, but nonetheless, your first night in your guys' keep. And we'll end tonight's session there, guys.
Nice.
Nice. So we'll pick up next week with what happens from here, what the plan is. If you're confused how we got to this point, I said at the beginning of the stream, if you look at our YouTube channel below this, every episode we've done to this point is archived down there, as well as last week's episode, which was not online because we had no internet, but we continued the session anyways. We recorded it, put it on YouTube, so you can check that out and catch up with us. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. That same message applies to you, as everything from episode 1 till now is on that channel. And Twitter and Facebook are down there as well, so if you're like, what are we up to? Well, we'll stream something random, do something random, whatever, it's down there. And we'll see you next week, guys. Bye!
Bye.
Later, guys.
Money,
Bye.
please.
Money, please.